The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
I never thought I would ever see the day where popcorn buckets have become the hottest collectible in the movie-going experience. Deadpool versus Wolverine, Dune, Beetlejuice, and Alien Romulus have made it to make any AMC theater or AMC website actually worth the price of admission. But with Terrifier 3 being released on October 11th, they have their own bucket, and, well, it won't be on time, sadly. I know. I've built it up, and I dealt you all a crushing blow. Nevertheless, come March 31st, 2025, about 6 months after the film's release, Terrifier 3 Popcorn Bucket will be available online at the AMC's website for $34.95. It's a limited edition bucket, so have that credit card ready. We all love popcorn, and Art the Clown wants you to enjoy it the best way possible. And welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome to episode 634 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also the lair of La Swag within the Raven Chateau, Casa de -0, and also Raven Chateau. Of course. I'm just about to call on you, and you take your fucking headset off. What is that?
Nope. It's called fucking dramatic effect.
No, it's not.
I heard what you said, Wolfie.
Okay.
No, and also hailing from the fucking spooky capital of the world, we got a goddamn brother who's a 5-star champion. All right. He is the savior that we've been savoring. The brother from another mother. He knows so many people he ought to be in missing persons.
The pal from another gal.
He's a pal from another gal. Thank you, Wolfie. I was getting there. And his name ain't Sal. We have our goddamn pal, Anthony. Look at that. Too
All right, there you go. Thank you. You make it so saccharine sweet and better than I could. So I'm glad you didn't toss your headset down and fucking spike it like a football like MZ did in the pre-show.
Well,
The
actually,
only
my
thing I
headset.
compare that to is if Wilford Brimley was whispering in my ear sweet nothings of diabetes.
Diabetes.
Hey, Raven Shadow. Is the director of the Vordelak filming you today? Because, man, you are really soft right now. You got like a haze on you.
Raven Shadow
Can't
gets
see that from here.
Did Raven Shadow get soft?
It's almost on the level of Lucio Fulci's Conquest type of sharpness in your picture, dude.
Okay, well, I don't know everything.
He
all
looks-
the words that you just said, little kid. But
He looks better now. He actually looked a little rough in the beginning, but for me it cleared up. So I don't know if it'll probably clear for you, MZ.
Yeah,
So-
Is it my face or is it the
No,
video?
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
Well, I
Don't
am
worry
worrying
about
about it now.
it. But you look fine, is what I'm saying. Being broadcast, you look fine. It's probably on MZ's end.
you
So
look
don't.
fine. What are you hitting on him?
Well, it
maybe.
just looks like you put a P. Diddy filter of saran wrap over the camera.
Oh, God damn it. Wait. Okay. So we'll get to our pal in just a sec. 784. What does that number mean to you guys?
It ain't the amount of episodes we've done.
Not quite. We're almost
Is
there.
it the charges on P. Diddy?
Well, I mean, kind of close. How do you not
The
remember
amount
this?
of years he could be facing prison.
Well, that too, maybe.
He's gonna get a sentence of 1 year for each dildo.
He had 784 dildos.
Yeah, you didn't see that?
That is correct.
No,
That
I
was
didn't.
in the
They con-
affidavit.
They confiscated 784 of them from his house.
784 dildos.
Yes.
How do you contain that many fake cocks?
How do you juggle them?
Imagine being the guy that had to fucking itemize those.
God fucking damn it.
large
two,
black
three.
dildo with cat fur all over it. One.
What do you need 784 dildos for? I mean, if your dick ain't good enough, and you need to supplement it with over 700 dildos.
He's like the fucking Imelda Marcus of dildos.
He is. He is.
The Marcos.
If you're under 40, you don't know who that is.
I actually used
imagine
an
being the-
Imelda Marcos reference last week,
Wow.
and to my wife who had no idea who she was, and I'm like,
Yeah, boy.
it's a commentary on shoe collections. That's what it is.
Too sweet, baby.
I know. I didn't hear this until this is the first time I'm hearing
Well,
of it.
it's too bad you don't actually read the chat that you're in with all of us, or you would have seen it.
No, yeah, it is a shame.
The guy can look
There
at.
was a lot in that story.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? 1,000 bottles of lube?
1,000 bottles of lube, 784 dildos.
1,000
Christmas
bottles of
song.
lube on the wall, 1,000 bottles of lube. Take one down.
Pass it
over
around.
here. Fucking 9,000 bottles of lube. Hey.
That was the song he made with Meek Mill.
Yeah. Where's Ursher?
Oh, I don't think that was a song.
He was hitting some notes.
Yeah. That's for sure. Oh, man. Like, so I don't want to laugh about this because it's fucking horrifying, but all you can really do is laugh, right? Like, it's so insane that.
Well, yeah, it's so extreme. Like, if it was only like maybe 5 or 10 or maybe even 20, you'd take it a little bit more seriously, but 784 dildos?
Yeah, I'm not even talking about that specifically. I'm talking about the charges against him and all the shit that he's sex trafficking and all that. It's disgusting, but
just that
fucking
in and
piece
of
of
itself.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, but
Who has more
MZ's
dildos?
like, let's talk more about those dildos. How many
Who has
bouquets?
more
Of,
dildos?
how many
Pete
bouquets of
dildo or
dildos
Vinnie
was that
Mac?
again, Anthony? Do you remember? It's like
Oh.
69 bouquets or something like that.
So it was 63.5 bouquets of dildos.
well, a bouquet of dildos is a joy forever.
I mean, it's like you couldn't even write this stuff.
No. And
like 'cause
yeah.
in the writing room, people would be like, "No, it's too unbelievable."
yeah, exactly.
And then you got in a federal affidavit for
Yeah.
human trafficking,
Yep.
trafficking sex workers across state, you come upon the fact that some Amazon delivery driver most likely had to drop off cases of 1,000 bottles of lube and 784 dildos, which I guarantee at least 50 of them were varying types of dragon cocks. So it's just what I don't know. I can believe anything now, man.
Yeah,
Like it must be a nightmare making an original concept in Hollywood because they're like, oh, that happened last week.
I can't even imagine what his Amazon history looks like.
Well, if it means anything, I saw a girl on the internet who could hide 7 of those. So, if he just got himself maybe about 115 girls like this, and maybe a couple of guys to boot, yeah, he can hide
a
them.
couple of
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, he had more than a couple. Yeah.
Dude, this is gonna. They're comparing it to Epstein.
Yeah.
With what went on there, they said there's a lot of names that are going to come out in this. So I wouldn't be surprised if all their paths had crossed at some point.
Mhm.
Like this is literally we're bringing to the forefront now the fact that everybody knew there was a wildlife in Hollywood, with varying types of parties, but he's on racketeering charges.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, it's
goddamn,
wild.
pal.
And he has been seen once again, just like Epstein, in pictures and hanging around the fucking orange dipshit too.
Oh, we're going to form a tag team.
Big surprise.
And
Former
the,
tag team. Don't- yeah. Whoa.
and the mustachio dipshit is Vince McMahon.
I got a lot of stroke, pal. Let me tell you.
Like the clown.
Hey, Sean, I named one of your dildos after my wrestlers.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Big
I almost.
boss man.
Oh, I forgot about that. I
Yeah,
forgot that he
actually- that
named
was in
them.
his
Yeah.
affidavit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking
Ahmed
what the
Johnson.
Ahmed Johnson. This is the Duke,
This
the
is,
dumpster Drosy one.
This one's
No,
called
I-
Showstopper. Goddamn.
Ben Bigelow.
You don't want to deal with the sharpshooter.
Special Delivery Jones.
Yeah, what would be some of the worst ones that you could fucking think of that he named?
You never want to deal with Duke the dumpster Drosy.
Oh shit!
God, it's
It's a junkyard dog.
it's maybe that took up half of Diddy's collection. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe Vince was just stored it with them.
It's you're some things shouldn't come on a pallet. You know what I mean? You shouldn't get a pallet full of lube or a pallet full of dildos.
Unless you own
That
a
is-
business. Unless you own
Right,
a brick
yes,
and mortar
right.
store. Yeah.
Unless you're shipping and receiving, and hopefully you're not receiving. But that's just where I'm at. But
All of this is every time I see a video that's actually verified of what's going on, it chills me to the bone because I'm like, this is just fucking insane. Like
Yeah,
how?
yeah.
12-hour parties. Literally every single champagne cup had GHB in it or ecstasy, and having his way. And that's the security guard who filmed the video the other day, who's like, you didn't believe me 6 years ago
Oh, I
when I
saw
first
that.
reported
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Well, he's
He
a
goes,
mogul, and nobody bothers a mogul, and that's part of the problem in this country. That he
One of
couldn't
many.
possibly do it. He's a billionaire. It's like really. The reason why he does it is because he's a billionaire.
Yeah,
when are these
like-
people going to wake up?
The thing about that is it's funny because we see it in movies a lot, but like when you make that much money, you know, like what gets you going? You know, like you could buy anything. Like you get no satisfaction from buying a new car after like the 50th one, right? You know, so you have to, if you're not a normal person, you have to find other ways to get that rush. And you know, all too often, shit like this happens, right? It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's a
Jeez.
whole new level. It's like they're using people for commerce. They're like, oh, pick up 12 male sex workers in Maryland and bring them
Right.
down here. It's like an order for work. It's insane.
like, I mean, Cat Williams was right, man. Fucking back on the fucking.
He's the
Shannon
one who
Top
blew
show,
this up.
dude.
He is the
Like-
one who blew that up this year.
Fucking Cat Williams, man. He said, fucking, it will be coming out. Fucking chickens come home to roosts, dog. Like,
That Shannon Sharp show knows how to get people in trouble.
oh my gosh.
Shannon Sharp
I'm
knows how
never
to get
going on that
himself
show.
in trouble.
Do you know what the
Yeah.
premise of the show is? His podcast? It basically anybody who sits with him just sits there and drinks Courvoisier the whole show.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So the more that they get intoxicated, the more things get revealed. Like that's the plot of his show. Like, oh, I'll do a podcast, but we're going to get progressively more intoxicated. So
Jesus.
that's how this all. Then the cat just got rolling and rolling and rolling, and he just let everything out.
And I love Cat Williams. I'm a big Mark. Was disappointed by his recent Netflix special, but that's okay. I still like the guy a lot. Not saying he's fucking perfect, but my man, Cat fucking dropped some fucking truth, man. Like, I don't know. The fuck
And
you did.
Well,
That
he's
was
got the
for-
bragging rights now.
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Like, did you see the video of Bieber meeting him twice at the airport
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
and him
God
patting him down for like
Yeah.
subtly, like every single time
Yeah.
you pull him in, and now you're like, oh damn, was
Yeah.
Diddy like concerned then that he'd get blown up?
Oh yeah, Machine Gun Kelly. He definitely. I don't know.
He took a few live rounds.
little friendly fire.
I don't know how friendly it actually was, but
Little unfriendly fire.
Frozen rope to left.
yeah.
Yeah. It ain't web fluid, kids.
No.
Demolition.
That's for their kink night. I love it.
Yeah.
Demolition.
Pal, we're gonna get a Road Warrior pop.
Could you imagine that?
Warrior pop.
The spikes.
The mountain.
Let's call him the Four Horsemen.
Mountie.
The Mountie. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's shaped like a cattle prod. Well, they're all kind of shaped like cattle prods.
Yeah. He burns a fucking maple leaf in your arse.
It writes itself, folks. It writes itself.
Oh, goddamn, pal.
But yeah, can we get as far away from Epstein and Diddy's house as possible now, please?
Yes. Let's talk about Silver Scream, because so let me go ahead and set the scene. I won't be able to talk about it because I wasn't there. Neither was MZ, but we were doing the Patreon show on Sunday, and Ravenchild was like, "Oh, yo, I can't wait to talk about Silver Scream." You were like, "It was life changing." It was like, I don't remember what you said, but it was stuff like that. You were like, "It was so good. Like, holy shit, I can't wait to talk about this." And then like the gears started spinning, and we all have a chat, the four of us. So it was like, well, fuck, Ravenchild's excited to talk about this. Like, it would be nice for him to bounce it off someone as opposed to just gushing, So we're like, all right, well, I was like, "Hey, pal, you want to come on the show?" He was like, "All right, cool, yeah."
I mean, speaking of Diddy parties, definitely want to gush and bounce off people.
You can have a freak off, friendly freak off,
Freak off Friday.
Freak off Friday.
Is this going to be like a birthday theme now? Like people are going to order freak offs for their birthday and stuff. Like.
It just sucks that whenever our pal comes on, we're always talking about fucking debauchery of some fucking.
I know. Yeah, I know, right?
Brings it out of us.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, Ravenchild. So go ahead. Why were you so excited to talk about this when you mentioned it on Sunday?
Well, I mean, I definitely want our 5-star brother to fucking have the floor, and you don't need my jibba jabba. But my original plan was to stop by Silver Scream for maybe like an hour and a half or so. I want to see our pal Anthony, and I want to see D-Rook at the Rough House table, and anybody else that may come by. Literally, like after stopping by at Moynihan's for a couple, I realized that I need to spend longer time here. And I got a big hug and a kiss from our pal. And then just even walking down to the event was the old school magic of what you've all heard us talk about. That is the legend of Rock and Shock. Several of our listeners, past and present, from Corny to Tim from Melbourne, and everyone in between, too many names to even count. A majority of us were at the last Rock and Shock pre-pandemic. Yep. You know what I mean? OTC, Rough House Publishing, so many other people, fucking Brian Pollan, Morbid Vision Film, so many other people. This was, and I can say with no hyperbole, a return to greatness. And I knew that I could not spend any less time at this event. And I had to be in it for the duration because this was what we missed. It's what we remember. It's what we talk about.
It's what we deserve.
What we deserve, if you will. And it was just about brothering. And it felt that. And, it was really special. Anthony came in, just so much hugs. And just to say, like we're going to get to it, but goddamn. When Anthony comes into the fucking place, he is the governor of France, man. He is fucking
the governor of France.
The governor of France.
Yeah, he is. He is kissing hands and shaking babies, and he ought to work at missing persons callback because he knows everybody. And it was just such a special treat. And I really want our pal to talk about it, but I was just fucking moved. I was fucking moved.
Wow. And that's saying something for Raven Shadow.
Yeah, because I don't fucking give a fuck.
He doesn't move for anything.
Yeah, I don't move.
So, Anthony, from your perspective, like, I know you sort of have an in, about what's going on, but your impression of it, and also sort of like from behind the scenes kind of deal.
So, it dawned on me the other day. I'm like, so much has gone on in our lives since 2019 after Rock and Shock, right?
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
no shit.
Not just even like pandemics, politics, you name it, like a lot of things. And we used to have our watches set to every October to go back to Worcester and see our tribe, see our family, and recharge our batteries, right? Like I would always leave Rock and Shock feeling like, it's like, people get those exfoliation cleanses. Like Rock and Shock did that for me. And that's how I met you guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a warm, soapy enema.
What?
Yeah, I really wanted to be there, and there was just no way I was going to make it. And with the lineup that they had, there were a bunch of names that I missed. And when I was seeing pictures on my Facebook page, I'm like, holy shit, he was there. Holy shit, she was there. Why didn't anybody tell me this shit? Not that it would have changed any thoughts of heading down there. There was just no way I was going to be able to make it. Next year, I'll be able to make it.
Thank you.
But I definitely wanted to meet Eli Roth because, I mean, just for my own self-gratification, okay? I know he's a big Cannibal Holocaust fan. And I don't know about you guys, but when I see people or, some like fans that are in the galleries or in the videos or whatever of like conventions and shit like that, you always wonder, hey, I wonder where this guy is right now that's got this kick-ass tattoo or did this awesome interview or whatever. And, I mean, they're people just like us, and, like I was saying, for my own self-gratification, I would love to have gone up to Eli Roth and tell him that I'm in the... Who's telling the story here? Sorry. And I would have loved to have gone up to Eli Roth and tell him, hey, I don't know if you pay attention, if you look through the entirety of the Cannibal Holocaust Grindhouse release Blu-ray, but I'm in that, and I'm the one that has the Cannibal Holocaust tattoo with Francesca Ciardi, and I'm like, of course, I would like to think that he would think that was cool and that he got to meet the guy who is in the picture with Francesca Ciardi. If he ever paid any attention to that, but I don't. Like I said, it's for my own
validation.
Yeah, and egotistical validation, I guess you could say. I'm not an egotistical person, but I really would have
it's nice to be recognized.
Yeah.
I mean, you're very,
and I think, huh?
You're very egotistical.
Egotistical? He is.
Yeah. I got two. They're both eager.
Eager testicle.
Eager testicles.
I have two testicles, one for each of you.
It sounds like a post-punk band from 1993.
Yeah, it really does, actually.
Eager testicle. But I mean, I saw like Sean Cunningham was there, and I'm like, son of a bitch. If it's one person from Friday, the lore of Friday the 13th that I've always wanted to meet, it would have been Sean Cunningham. The creator of it all. The man who did it. And it just would have been nice to have met him. And hopefully he'll come back. Because I definitely want to leave him. I want to see him before he leaves this mortal coil. But he looks great.
Connecticut, so he's not too far away.
Yeah, I know he lives in Connecticut. It's not like you can just drive to his house, though. I'm sure.
Well, I mean,
sure
you do that.
Has.
You do that for Stephen King all the time. So hey, why not?
Just once, and everybody does it. Jeez.
So yeah,
I was glad to see that there was a huge crowd. It looks like the con circuit is alive and well in Worcester. I am very happy to to see that, and because of the success of this, means bigger names next year. You know, and it's just gonna, and if it keeps going like this, it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. And they're doing the right thing by what from what you said, Anthony, is they're not bringing everybody, they're not bringing names back year after year after year. They're going to space it out, which is a smart move.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest with you, that's basically Spencer Charnas's MO. Like, he is known for making super smart decisions in all regards to his career. Like, he busted his ass for 10 years in kind of a ska band, and then said, I've done that for 10 years. I'm going to transition. Oh, how about I write a theatrical, like, horror song? And that's how he took off, and it connected with really young kids, and the age range of people at that convention was wild. It was like, I saw somebody like 70s, 80s, all the way down to little kids.
Yeah.
And it's not just for horror. This is what Ice Nine Kills is doing, who I didn't listen to until 2.5 years ago, because I got to know Spencer before, like, his music. I wasn't a fan, so to speak. I was just making the film. He wanted to be a part of it. He sent me his resume via email.
You're like,
and I'm like, dude, I know who you are.
Yeah.
And I know him from a video a friend of mine posted. I think few of you know her, Di Green. Di's son suffers from autism, and his favorite band was Ice Nine Kills. So I'm on my social media feed, and she's a proud mom, and the post was like, my son's seeing his favorite band. They gave him all access. She videotaped everything. And what I was left from it was, oh, their music's not my cup of tea. I've aged out of this group, so to speak. But this kid seems like a really nice guy. And he emailed me. That's how I knew him. And I'm like, yeah, let's go have dinner. So I met him and his girlfriend, who's in all their videos, Nadia Teichman. Nadia, I would look at as the straw that stirs the drink for that whole operation. She's a casting director in Hollywood. So, like, just the entire way that this is set up, like with Spencer, with his music, knowing how to reach the fan base, it was incredibly impressive. They were in Wall Street Journal 2 years ago for having the #1 merchandise selling band in the world.
It's crazy.
And it's wild. And like, they'll do, I picked his brain about the business end of things, and like, yeah, we'll make like 50 t-shirts, put them on our website in a Friday as limited edition, and folks love it. And so that's their bread and butter right there. But he doesn't stop working. So when he wanted to do a convention, he teamed up. Look, we have our local legends who, by the way, Rock and Shock was mentioned by the showrunners and Spencer on microphone nonstop. Nonstop, tip of the caps to Rock and Shock, which in these parts, it's holy ground, that convention.
Yeah.
Walking into DCU is kind of holy for us. So I went 2 years ago to Spencer's first convention on an invite. We had just met the week before, and I got in for Sunday, and it was in Danvers. Incredibly well set up, but it's separated from each other. Not everything is in the same area. You had to go to different sides of the hotel. So they ran it again in Danvers last year, and they have a Rock and Shock component to Silver Scream. It's basically Rock and Shock, because he always has a concert on the Saturday night of the show. So it's literally a carbon copy, so to speak. But I was a little concerned. The showrunners are from Michigan. They're not from here. They wouldn't be familiar with the local players.
Right.
But to George and Mike's credit from Astronomicon, unbelievable. From the ticket takers who have been there with them for 15 years to, like, everybody has mileage with this team. They know what they're doing. They noticed on Friday night that some folks would be best served in a different location, and they pivoted right after the show and moved tables, all of that. So, like, I remember on Friday, the Super Troopers guys were in the celebrity area. but they had the Super Troopers vehicle 3 aisles away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they
Yes.
pivoted,
Yes.
and the next day they had them across from it.
Oh.
So they're super efficient at what they do, and fan attention. The marketing for this has always been top notch. It reaches all corners of the world. In 2023, when they had their convention and did the Q&As, they had people from Korea, Australia, Africa, all over Europe descending on this, and they're finding out about horror through the band. Like that's what's going on.
Yeah,
It's like a reverse. And he touched upon a group of kids, like the kids at the concert on Saturday night were like ranging from 8 years old to 80. Like it's just everyone went to it, and their team treats them like family, and his management team treats people like family. And every customer that comes in, they're the same with you behind the curtain as they are with you on the floor. So us having our guard up about Rock and Shock, I dropped mine easily because I know who was running this. And when you walk in on Friday, the only thing that's different is it says "Welcome to Horrorwood," and you walk in. The curtains are nearly exactly the same as Rock and Shock. They just changed them from black and orange to black and red.
Yep.
Slight difference. Aisle setups, everything. The absolutely ridiculously frustrating fucking vendor that they have there that you can get a Coke or a Pepsi from. The lines are down the street. It's like that hasn't changed one bit. And I know that they were trying to figure out alternative methods going forward. But the celebrity bullpen where they keep all the celebrities?
Yeah.
The size of that was about 3 times the size as Rock and Shock's.
Yeah.
It took up nearly a third of the floor.
Yeah, Rock and Shock, I was always a little surprised walking through there. You can do the round in like 60 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
And
tell them about the walkways, Anthony. Tell them about the fucking.
Well, when you go into the when you go into the celebrity wing.
Yeah, tell them like it was.
Oh, dude. So first of all, it's not just like, okay, they're behind this curtain. They were also in front of the curtain. So you had, even before you went into the celebrity bullpen, Nick Castle was waiting for you right at the opening. But the lines for Castle were down the street. The lines for dude, I'm telling you right now, like Art the Clown has changed everything.
Yeah.
Art the Clown has already become as close to joining that holy quartet of, Freddie, Jason, Leatherface, Michael. Like he is this generation's #1 slasher.
Yeah, no doubt.
A country mile.
And there's no competition.
No.
And it was reflective on the floor of the convention. And so David Howard Thornton was also there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if anybody has had a chance to. I'm lucky. I've met him in person a couple of times. And at the end of this, I'm going to be able to unveil something that I have for next month.
Oh, that's the DHT. Not not Danny Hellion Trio,
Danny
as I was joking.
Heckin' Trio. that was a chat joke, but he was positioned right when you would walk in. Like you'd see him, but then you'd look to the left, and the line was serpentine around and around and around. He had for celebrities, he was #1.
Crazy.
Easily.
Crazy.
Outside of Spencer Charnas. Spencer, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Spencer's the one continuous thing at that for the past 3 years. And his lines are still the longest, which is wild because his audience just keeps growing in age.
Mm-hmm.
But then they also had the stages from all of his music videos. It's a local guy who actually does all this, Mike Nelson. Mike's awesome. He was a diehard Spooky World fan.
Oh, okay.
And now he lives in Indiana. And he actually was the guy who made Lauren Rivera's outfit for Terrifier 2.
Yep.
He actually did that.
Wow.
But they have all the sets for the music videos and some of Terrifier stuff. He also does like the Nightmare on Elm Street house. They had all of those, every single one, in the convention center. So it was kind of an L shape for the celebrities, and then outside of that L shape was all the photo ops. So you'd have, Terrifier with the Terrifier background of the kids show. You'd have the front doors to the Myers house with Nick Castle and James Jude Courtney. Like, they did those up well. So it was. I know in the past it's at Rock and Shock they'd have like one, and he did a banging job too. But this is like you have like 6, 7, 8 sets on the property now to get photo ops in, and there is plenty of space for more vendors too. This is the number one takeaway that I had of this. Because the numbers of people on the floor were 3 to 4 times as Rock and Shock, the amount of money the vendors made was some of the biggest that they've ever had.
Wow.
My buddy Dennis, he's a caricature artist, designs by Dennis. He's a comic kid. He's not so much the horror guy, but he split a table with his buddy, and he came up to me when I was talking to Raven Shadow. He hugged me from behind and he looked at me and said,
Ooh.
yeah, little did I know the news was breaking. Anyways,
Not just the news.
well, with the money he made from this past weekend, I'm sure he'd be able to afford a few boxes. But anyways, he comes up from behind me, gives me a hug and says, not only did I make my table back on Friday night by 7 p.m., I made double that by 10.
Jesus.
Wow.
Crazy.
And at
Yes.
Rock and Shock, you were lucky if you sold a single thing on Friday.
Yeah. Dude. So what he was
Friday-
doing,
Friday
Go.
was a Rock and Shock Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Wow.
nuts.
yes.
Like, it was fucking nuts. And I want Anthony to talk more. But like, yeah, the lines to the fucking like $12.50 fucking Bud Lights, fucking lines, like fucking people were fucking buying them. Me, I was going to Moynihan's back and getting a fucking $4
course
Coors
you
Light,
were.
dog. And coming back. But I met some awesome
Wait.
people over-
You're talking up this fucking convention and you would go to a bar to get a drink.
Well, I ain't paying fucking $12
Why
for
do
a
you,
fucking.
why not just hang out at the fucking convention and drink after?
Well, first of all, I have a problem, Wolfie. Okay.
And what's your problem this time?
I just get anxiety. I gotta have a beer.
Oh God.
Now, honestly, guys, if you saw Raven Shadow, because when I spotted him, he was at Derek's booth at Rough House Publishing.
Yep.
And I was making my ways down the aisles, and honestly, I was getting stopped every 5 minutes
For real.
by people there that I'm like, oh my God, this is like a family reunion. The amount, like, everyone was there. I couldn't walk 2 or 3 feet without bumping into someone. And the cool part is, because now I'm working a lot in the West Coast, a lot of those people were there.
Wow.
It leads me up to on Sunday, I was able to take my son.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
That-
sweet.
Yeah, that was like the highlight of it for me. And when I talk about amazing people there, showrunner from the top to bottom. By the way, if anybody has Sirius XM, Jose Mangan, the host
the
of
Metal Show, right?
Metal,
Yep.
dude, he is. I've had a chance to work with him now. I've had a chance to hang out with him. He is the nicest damn person on
Yeah.
this planet. Like, he's wild, and he's going to have a feature role in the upcoming Nice 9 Kills video that they announced on Sunday. So, and that's attached to Terrifier 3, and tonight at Fantastic Fest is the premiere of both. So it's going to be
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh man.
It was amazing.
So we gotta somehow get back together and get a table at next year's con.
Well, if only we had a. But all I can say, one thing I want Anthony to talk more on the time we have him.
Jesus. Anthony,
What?
just keep talking. Just keep talking. Like, you can have something too,
I skipped over Saturday night. Saturday night was the most fun, honestly, aside of being able to take my kid there. But Saturday night, first of all, John Campopiano is amazing. I was working with him to get him a table at the convention. Not only is he a great documentary director, Pennywise, the story of it. What was the other one? He was working on a Jaws one, I know. But he got a table there, and just seeing how happy he was because he's like, how they were taken care of, they were pumped about. So I went to grab dinner at night before the concert. And I'm like, you know what? Since Mezcal's no longer there, they moved the location. I said, they moved it over to the Starbucks.
Weird.
Well, we'll get into that later, but Wolfie said I can't talk anymore, but go ahead.
No, I said you could talk. I said, you keep telling Anthony, like, I want Anthony to keep talking. I said, but you can talk. This is like...
Oh, I thought you were yelling at me.
No, I'm not yelling at you. I was... You were like, I just want Anthony to keep talking. And I was like, well, I want to hear from you too. Like...
Oh, I thought you were burying me in front of Anthony.
I wasn't burying you.
I'm
Jeez,
sorry.
guilty conscience much.
And I think all of us have attended the old Rock and Shock after parties, right? Like, got to hang out a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, this was a little bit kicked up a notch because what's it called? Off the Rails now, the restaurant behind.
Oh yeah, boy.
Yeah.
We're gonna get. Into
are you guys familiar with Off the Rails?
I've seen it. I've never been in there though.
It's so new. It's so new.
Yeah.
And that joint was pizzopping when I was going back to Moynihan's. Like it was like episode 1, 2, and 3 all dropped on the same day, dog. Like it was fucking lines.
Like
Coke?
Yeah,
like Coke.
If you walk out of the
Yes.
if
Coke at a Sam Kinison party.
Hey.
Hey.
But if you were walking out of DCU, walking up to the Palladium, it's that bar directly behind the DCU Center. Yeah. And they expanded and have an outdoor area now, and it's like garage doors.
Oh, nice.
It's like really well done that they can hold smaller venue concerts there. So on Friday night, they had a band. They had Jamie Kennedy do stand-up, and then they turned it into a giant karaoke party with all the anybody know Brian Collins that writes for Fangoria? Like he loves karaoke. He's up there singing with Jose Mangin, and it's just a good time. And then you look out the back door, and the Palladium parking lot's already set up for the concert for the next day.
Yeah.
And so literally everything was just right there whenever you needed to do it. So, and by the way, we all know back in the day, if we needed a hotel room at the Hilton, we could get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we could get it at the Garden Inn. There were zero.
Sold out.
Zero, not just Hilton. The AC down the street.
Wow.
Airbnb. There was nothing.
Wow.
I had to get a hotel in Marlboro to get into this.
Jesus.
That was the closest reasonable rate because the AC had a one-night stay available for $939.
Oh, fuck you. Are you
yes,
kidding?
Sir. Dude, I'm telling you,
Fuck that.
This thing literally was a Chamber of Commerce moment for Worcester.
Yeah, and what did I say to you? Why did you not fucking stay at my house?
I'm sorry, man. I didn't remember. I will do it next time. That's a
Seriously,
guarantee.
dude. I'll put you in the fucking Wolfie suite.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Tell you what, that's next year. I can get you guys a table. I know a couple people there. I'm just saying, that was the number one thing Raven Shadow and I said. Like, if we had OTC, we had you guys back, and like Midnight Madness from Coolidge Corner, like we would be feeling like 100%. It was as close to it as gets.
It really was, guys. Like with no hyperbole. I know that's weird for me. Like, is it Rock and Shock?
That's a weird word for you, yeah.
I know, because I read comic books.
How do you spell it?
Hyperbole. The fuck?
Hyperbole.
HYPER Bobole.
No.
What do I fucking know about that?
Keep going.
Absolutely nothing.
I'm just saying that the love that Trick or Treat Radio got a lot of love. Like, I will say, like between our pal Anthony and Dee Rook, who not only are they amazingly talented, but they're better human beings. We got tons of love. Anytime that I was able to get a moment with Anthony, and then we tried a lot. And Anthony tried to bring me to fucking things, but people just kept coming out, and that was cool. It being brothers. But every time, put Trick or Treat over, put us over. D Rook, same thing. I know we definitely got a new subscriber from a guy at the Rough House booth that had a little foot boot on with a little scooter gimmick. And you know the guy I'm talking about. He was a good brother.
Scooter
He
gimmick.
subscribed. And then D Rook had a buddy, Nate, who's such a brother. Like, you guys would adore everyone. I think you might have met Nate when we were talking about Don Henley.
Yeah, Nate's a hoot, man. Nate's a hoot.
He's a good brother. D Rook would put us over. But yeah, we definitely got at least 2 subscribers from that. So that will help us.
We can use all the subscribers we can get.
Guys, there's 6,000 people here today.
Yeah.
If we get 2 more.
Ravenshot, why didn't you bring flyers, man?
Because I did. Well, I was gonna be there for an hour.
I'm just kidding. I don't even think about it.
All night.
I mean, for the past couple of years, I've been going to the Monster Expo,
Yeah.
and for an upstart con, it's small, it's intimate, but and they're trying, and they're, they added a second show per year, so now they've been putting on.
They're great people.
Yeah, they seem to be nice. They're putting on 2 shows a year, one in May and one in October. And like I said, it's a small, intimate thing. They'll bring in about 4 or 5 guests. Usually from the B line of the B class of horror convention notables, but certainly not nothing. I mean, these are names, but they always end up adding a name that I've never heard of, and I don't know if anybody else has ever heard of them before, but they're treated just the same, and that's fine.
They have a film component, though.
Huh?
They have a film festival component, which is different than Rock and Shock.
Yeah.
Rock and Shock did have film, pseudo film festival for a little while.
I'm sorry, Silver Scream. My bad.
Oh,
Silver Scream.
gotcha.
Yeah, which is something I think that there was, obviously it's year 1. You only know so much.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the showrunners as one walks the floor the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
The other one handles the celebrities, and they're so damn good at. I mean, if you had to manage and represent Twisted and ICP for 20 years, 25 years, you could probably handle anything.
Right.
So I'm telling you, they are the sweetest guys on the planet. I was walking by Mike, and I said, "How's it going?" He goes, "That's my question to you, not to me." He goes, "I want to know how your experience is." And I said, and he was like that when I had a table last year in Danvers for Spooktacular. Like, him and his sister work the floor, and they come around and they're like, "You got everything you need? How's the power supply working? Have you had it?" Like, they are as professional as it gets. And he was already telling me about the ideas for 2025 for Silver Scream 4, and the amount of people that they had from the outdoor show on Saturday night, which was great, by the way. So Saturday night we went to Uno's. I think we're circling back to the Uno story, which is where we all used to meet up and hang out after Rock and Shock. So that vibe was very much still there. So I hear a couple of New York accents at the bar, and it's the Levy brothers. If you folks know who they are, they're the guys who I met them in 2018. They had just done that spoof called Halloween H60 with the older Michael Myers in the nursing home and all that. And then they ended up actually acting in Terrifier 1, and they produced part 2. They're called Fuzz on the Lens Productions. I had gotten to know them a while ago, so I heard their voices, and I went over because we haven't seen each other in years, so I gave them a hug. And Damian Maffei was with them, and Damian Maffei lives local now. Yeah, so we were
really.
Yeah, couldn't believe it. He was living in Maine for a bit, and then moved local, and he's doing good.
But he did the reverse MZ.
Shows up. And Damien Leone shows up, and the whole Terrifier team is sitting at the Uno's bar, and just the sweetest damn people on the planet. I mean, you got to remember the Levy brothers are from Staten Island, so they live up to the rep. But those are my boys. Those are my boys. But and they're all in Austin, Texas tonight for the premiere at Fantastic Fest of Terrifier 3.
Oh shit!
Which, yeah, and I got confirmation from Spencer that attached to 400 different AMC screens in the country they were able to announce their music video.
Anthony, I think you turned on your effects.
I did. Hello.
That was awesome. It's like the vocoder effect.
Did you come cyborg? Battlestar Galactica.
This is funny. Sorry, guys.
This is amazing.
Love bites.
That was amazing.
No, we know when to stop us this time.
You really got to cut it out with that.
All right, pal.
All right.
You're a part of the Rebel Alliance.
We are. But then, at the after party, it was kind of wild because it turned into... anyways, sorry.
Dildos.
Oh, shit.
But no, we ended up hanging out. We were talking shop, and we're like, where the hell do we go for this concert? Because it was just a sea of people, and it's outdoors, so they don't have a usual area.
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up bringing us over. Kevin Barbary
Shit.
was there, Corey Turingi, another Rock and Shock regular, and a bunch of us. They welcomed us with open arms, and I've known Nadia, Spencer's girlfriend, for ages. We're literally put by the sound booth with his entire management team, legal team, and Ricky Dean Logan was with us. David Howard Thornton was with us, all just watching the show, having a good time, and not an ego in the house, man. It was awesome. It was just a really, really good time, and it looks like next year they may be entertaining the outdoor part to maybe go back indoors, but at a bigger venue. Because that's how many people wanted to go.
Shit.
It was really impressive. Oh, by the way, first Jason opened up for Ice Nine Kills. So Ari Lehman not only appeared, mentioned, but played and opened for them. Yeah,
That's amazing.
Nice.
yeah. But at the end of the day, by the time I left on Sunday, if anybody's familiar with the Ice Nine Kills universe, it's actually very funny. I kind of did a catch up to figure out, because they suspend a lot of disbelief, like wrestling or a TV show.
Yeah.
Right.
And they had a run-in at the convention on Sunday. If anybody's familiar with the universe, they have a character named Roy Merkin, who is and Roy is a reporter, an investigative journalist from Austin, Texas, who leans into conspiracy theories and claims that Spencer actually legitimately murders people in his videos and is sticking by that claim. They've done fake like Donahue shows. But meanwhile, on Sunday, out of nowhere, during the middle of the press conference, comes Roy Merkin in a blue suit with a red tie, with a red hat, and a how would you refer to it? Something on his ear, like a massive object on his ear, and starts making claims that Spencer isn't really Spencer anymore. It's all fake. And if anybody's familiar with how the band Ghost handles it, they always reinvent themselves, like every album.
Yeah, Papa Emeritus.
From what I'm hearing, that Ice Nine Kills may be going in that same trajectory, because they've been the horror band for like 5-6 years. Now I think they are going to go in a different direction. So that's what I'm hearing. So those are a lot of the people that do go to the shows, like to see families traveling from all over the country to go there, like mother, father, kids.
Yeah.
Because they're loyal to the brand. Again, they do the inverse. They do the music leads people into horror, and you're meeting the nicest damn people, like Scout Taylor Compton, Danielle Harris.
Yep.
We're both next to Nadia. Anytime you bring a kid around them, they melt. They're just amazing, amazing folks. So, yeah, I would say out of 5 pumpkins, this was a 5. But they're
Nice.
going to do more next year, tighten it up. And if they utilize the upper space like Rock and Shock did for screenings or stuff like that.
Yep.
I think it would be good because they only showed 2 movies at Off the Rails on Thursday night. They had a pre-show. But I have a feeling this could turn into something really special in this area because Spencer's from here. He's from Swampscott, and he wants Massachusetts to have the big horror convention again. Not to take anything away from anybody else.
No.
But that's what he's looking to do. So it was pretty cool.
It's probably smart to do in September too, honestly. Like October is great. I mean, spooky time, but like people are going sightseeing or going to Salem or, you know, whatever. So it actually, I don't know if that was a concerted effort or if it was just timing, but it seems like it's actually maybe a good thing to give people a little buffer, you know?
I honestly think because I don't think he's actually off next month. He's taking a month off, which, by the way, they desperately need.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
I just looked. I just looked up, and they've been touring with Metallica. Like that just speaks to the popularity, right? Like if you tour with Metallica, you already have a huge following. Like Metallica's just not going to bring out like some fucking jabroni band, you know, that has no following or something.
Jabroni band.
Yeah. Who's that big jabroni with the bass guitar?
But and they're also, I just saw they're going back on tour with Metallica in 2025. So fucking,
The
it's
one
incredible.
time I saw Metallica on the Black Tour, they didn't even fucking have an opener. They just showed video of people buying the Black Album CD at Tower Records. And said,
I
"We're
was
up
fine
next."
with that back in the day. I'll say that. 3.5 hours of Metallica, sign me up.
Right. And just to say again, one thing I want to do about the dinner aspect. So it was funny that Uno's closed at 10.
I saw that.
Which is really weird because you have this huge influx of celebrities and porn stars and all kinds of things. And they would close like, you know what? We don't want to make money. So Off the Rails is blowing up like 7-Up. Anthony mentioned Mezcal would move to Pub 99, which Wolfie and I have a history there.
That's
so
sports.
That's something else. But so Anthony was doing his thing. I ended up going to dinner with D-Rook and his buddy Nate, and we met a couple. One guy was a New York City fire department fucking firefighter, and his gimmick was he made little fucking houses.
His gimmick was.
Yeah. No, he made like little house gimmicks with like play sets. With,
his gimmick was to make house gimmicks.
You mean house gimmick? Yeah.
Your gimmick can't be to make house gimmicks.
Oh, God.
I don't like the rules.
You need a fucking thesaurus. I'm gonna buy you a thesaurus for your birthday.
I don't give
And
a fuck about
psychiatrist.
dinosaurs.
What's that, MZ?
And a psychiatrist.
Well,
Well, if you can get me one, let me know because I've been fucking calling fucking cold calls for about a year and a half. I don't know, it's fucking terrible. But no, so unfortunately, the minute D-Rook and his crew we sat down. Anthony texted me, "Oh, come over to fucking Off the Rails." I'm like, "Oh, we just sat down." But then, as we're sitting there, Derek Mears walks in.
mm-hmm.
So I text Marion, and she's actually at the fucking Love and Rockets Jane's Addiction show. Yeah.
Oh boy, was that before the fight or after or during?
She literally left before that happened because she wanted to beat the traffic, and Perry Feller was fucking cocked off his ass. So I'm like, "Oh, I'm here with D-Rook and the Rough House Boys," and the fucking Derek Mears walked in. She said, "You should say hi," and I'm like, "Well, no." But if I did, I'd be like, "Hey, I'm a friend of Carranza Mitsutake," and
Yeah, there you go.
podcast I'm on was in the credits of Line Girl, but didn't have the opportunity because he had his own booth. But once again, we got wicked over. Like one of the bus boys gave us a bunch of daps and told his Derek Mia story and was like, "Oh, if you guys come back over, ask for me." I forget his name, good brother, and we'll give you some free appy wappies. You know what I mean?
Why? Wait.
What?
Mozzie Watsies. That's what you call mozzarella sticks. And appy wappies?
Yeah.
Is that because you're Italian?
No, I'm just fucking stupid.
Appy wappy? Is that?
Appy wap. I'm just trying to be colorful.
colorful.
He's trying to talk
By using-
he's trying to speak like he's in Clockwork Orange or something.
Yeah. You go to the Korova Milk Bar.
Yeah, fucking yeah, fucking happy party lodges.
Did you get a Rolling Rock Plus?
But no,
See,
good
now-
for others.
See, now you're making me want Malcolm McDowell to show up again, like next year. and
Yeah.
Me ask for another autograph from him from that dog animated movie that he was in. Do you remember that in the night?
Wait, what?
No.
He had
I know.
30 pictures lined up the last time he was at Rock and Shock, and he did something that kind of ticked me off before I got to him. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck this guy. And I ended up getting like the animated Disney movie that he did. And it's a picture of the dog. Like, and I put it in front of him and he goes, Turbo. Like,
That's funny.
what? And I go, yeah, it's my favorite role you played.
Jesus. Not
Oh,
Caligula, not Alex DeLarge, but fucking
He-
dog.
Yeah, he didn't know even what to say. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
What? Yeah, well, if. What about if? Fuck yeah. I like the dog.
See,
There you
it's
go,
funny.
pal.
Like the very first rock shock I went to with Bobby Chains, which I saw MZ there when you were doing your wrangling, was here's the deal for $25 I got to get either a photo and an autograph from Malcolm or a photo and a T-shirt of a
Wow.
cartoony Alex face.
That's a bargain because now it's probably $200.
Right. So for 25 bones, I got a fucking dope Alex DeLodge fucking T-shirt, and I got a photo. You know, it was fucking disposable camera. You know, develop it, hope it fucking comes out. But I got that for 25 bones, and I got to meet fucking Alex. That was my big starfucker moment because that's Alex fucking DeLodge, sir,
Mm-hmm.
and he killed Kirk. Just saying.
Well, what I did see, to put a bookend on it,
Thank you.
it was the vibe was back, and it just made me realize how special Rock and Shock was.
Yeah.
Because that it was a time and space, and then the world fell apart, and I think Silver Scream is really going to pick up that mantle in Worcester and run with it. Craig Seaman was there. He did multiple
Good old
articles on it all weekend.
Canyon
Yep.
Seaman.
No.
Seaman Demon, he was there.
Craig, you know Craig. He wrote he's a writer for Telegram.
Yeah, he's a good brother.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You know him from the shop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw him. I gave him a hug and a kiss too.
Okay, yeah.
Good brother.
Yeah.
Good brother.
He did some press on, well, at least the Deadites. I think he covered Trick or Treat Radio too back in the day.
He did, and actually, when we opened up
Yeah.
the B side, he put us over too. When I talked to him as well. Yeah, good.
That's right.
Good brother.
Yep.
He's a fun guy. He really is. He actually was asking about just about everything under the sun there. He was like a kid in a candy shop. And I think that, like I was talking about earlier, the exposure that this convention gets and how far people it reaches. I think that they wanted to make sure again, smart business. By having David Howard Thornton come out during their panel, like Ice Nine Kills is the last panel on Sunday to close the show.
Yeah.
So everybody on the floor migrates to that same area that we used to go to at Rock and Shock for the panels that you hosted on.
Yeah.
You know? Except everyone is wedged in there, and it literally serpentined out into the hallways.
Dude, I couldn't even get to you Friday night. I was looking for you. I couldn't even find you during the Friday night trivia fucking gimmick.
Oh, yeah, because Brian Collins and Jose Mangan were doing that. They actually gave out beautiful awards. Like, 8 different awards to people in the audience that answered trivia right? Like, you're going to leave there, like, with stuff every time.
I couldn't find you, dog. I kept walking by. I'm like, I can't fucking get to him. Like, I can't. It was just packed.
If we thought that it was packed this year, wait until next year. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so I found that picture that you were just talking about. So I just wanted to post it here on the video
right,
feed.
For the folks who don't know how this is laid out, like on the upper right back, that's where the entrance to DCU is. That line went down to
Yeah.
where the escalators were that take you to
Yep.
the second floor.
And we were at that panel, but with not that audience.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah, we did a live podcast in that very room, and we had a good turnout. But yeah, no, like
Sure.
no, like maybe if we're lucky, 1/16 of that fucking audience, if we're lucky, you know. But we had a good turnout. But that's awesome to see that room so fucking packed. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But that's the heart and soul of what we had at Rock and Shock, man. It wasn't about the number.
Right.
It was about
right.
how passionate you were.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah,
And
It was
but
the
I
most
think
fun-
that's the
it was the most fun weekend of the year for sure.
like literally, we would book it the next day. We'd stay at the
Yep.
hotel and then make sure we had the room the next day.
Yep.
That's continuing with this, and that picture is the last photo taken on the floor on Sunday. So
Wow.
you remember how Sundays would turn into ghost towns,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and people stay until the end and they have to kick them out. Like it's wild.
That's great.
It's wild. People want it to keep going. So
My
next
major-
year,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
next year they have one of the questions asked during their panel from a fan was if they're going to do a haunted house component.
Mm,
Oh,
that's sick.
shit. Oh. Speaking of haunted house components.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. Take it easy, Horseshack.
Listen,
Yeah,
stay at home,
You're
Mom.
thinking the
I
same
am
thing.
fucking-
You're
I was
thinking the
there.
same thing I am.
Yep.
There's a place 10 miles down the street that kind of influenced that he always talks about where he went in life with horror. So if we know the new people, who's to say a conversation can't happen? But he turns it back to the fans. He goes, what do you folks think? Do you want a haunted house option? And the whole place pops. So they could have that coming. It's just going to keep growing and growing, I think. And I think eventually it's going to end up traveling too.
Yeah,
Imagine if the Palladium was done up as a fucking, that parking lot was done up like a haunted house gimmick.
Because now you got the Centrum for the music. So now you have the Palladium. You can rent it out completely,
The
inside and
backyard.
out.
But what I was talking about was right to the left of D Rook's booth, the Rough House booth. And unfortunately,
Yes.
Stephen Van Samson wasn't there on Friday. He was there on Sunday, and I couldn't give him a hug and a kiss like I wanted to. And then D Rook did the shop because we were doing Start on the Street the final year of that as of now. But there was to the left of Rough House Publishing was a box that was one of those extreme haunt gimmicks. Like those fucks. Like when you go and you get to sign a waiver, you get to sign away your likeliness, and you get like, there's warnings on the fucking door where it's like, you will experience simulated bee stings. You might
I
get
didn't know
touched.
P. Diddy was there.
Bro, it was like a party. It was like a fucking freak show.
was it a freak off?
It was a Freaky Friday, freaky freak off. Like we own your rights.
That's
You
Raven.
go in.
That's Raven Shadow's haunted house. The freaky freak off.
Yeah, no, brother. It's all consensual at the Raven Chateau, dog.
You just throw him down the back hill.
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Like
And you have to pee.
simulated bee stings.
have to
What does that mean?
at the Raven Chateau at the freaky freak off. You have to pee out of a screen window.
Yeah, no, what happened to Blackout Bacchanalia? That's coming next year.
The
Don't tell
blackout
me.
bacchanalia. Yeah, you talked about that years ago. What happened?
Yeah. 2025, baby. Use your fucking
Oh.
miles.
Well, all I'm going to say is if there's a chance that you guys want to have a presence back there, I think it would be embraced fully. I mean, even Mistress Carrie had a booth there. A few
Yeah,
others had.
yeah.
It's like,
She
wow.
was looking good too.
she's awesome. She's still cool. I actually sent her a screener for our film, so she's pumped about that. So we'll see.
Nice.
Last
But
time I saw her
next year
was
it's
at
going to
the
be better.
Yeah, last time we saw her was in Hampton Beach, and a friend of ours may have peed in her
Through
proximity.
a screen.
Screen window. Oh shit! Well, it sounds like a fucking blast, and I
Guys.
I will admit,
You were missed.
yeah, it's funny. Like, I didn't even know it was happening until like you guys mentioned it like a week before or something, and there's no time to even try to schedule something, to drive up there. But yeah, it sounds awesome, and it sounds like they really have their shit together there. And for a third year to have grown this much, to probably from what you guys are saying and from what I'm seeing, it looks like it's already outgrown the DCU, and it's done better than Rock and Shock has ever done. In terms
and
of
much love to the great Kevin Barbary and their
no
creators beforehand.
shade to
No shade at all.
Yeah,
No.
but that was a very
nothing but flowers to them this weekend.
That was a very specific kind of show. I don't think they actually wanted to grow it beyond where it was. They liked what they were doing. And I admit, like, I didn't know a lot about Ice Nine Kills or Spencer before, Anthony had brought up talking about him. I've seen one of their videos, and I've heard people talk about them, and I was like, this band seems like they're right up my fucking alley. Why haven't I checked them out yet?
Right.
And so that's kind of the extent of it. But it seems like, obviously, from what you've said, Anthony, and I just looked it up, like if they're one of the top movers in merch, or if not the top mover in merch, like, they know what the fuck they're doing, and he knows what he's doing, or I don't know if it's just Spencer or if it's, or whatever. I don't know.
It's a team.
Yeah.
It's
I don't want to.
His manager, Mike, and his attorney, Eric, I'm friends with their wives.
Nice.
Like, they're not like inaccessible guys smoking cigars up in a tower.
The big wigs. Yeah.
These guys travel everywhere with their families with them.
Yeah.
So everyone's taken care of. It's a really cool, like, everybody's on the same level, and they'll do anything for anybody. Like, they're not, and that Nadia, his girlfriend, like I said, casting director. If you're a friend of theirs, she's like, "Oh, I'm going to get you killed in the next video," or "I'm going to like they literally are like, "Come on board. You love us, we love you. Let's hang out."
Speaking of that, did you mention the? Can you mention the other thing?
Now I can do it.
Okay.
So, on Friday night, after Spencer's line died down, is when I saw him, and he confirmed that not only is the video coming out attached after the credits at AMC theaters, but I had a chance to work on that set with them through an invite from him, because it just so happened to time out that the new thing I'm working on brought me back out to LA, and he's like, "If you're in town, come by." So stopped by the set with my friends Samantha and Bonnie, who I'm working on our new show with, which should be out next month, the Horror Nerds podcast.
Yeah, I can't wait, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'll send you I'm editing the first show right now, but we went to the set, and it was unbelievable. Jose Mangan was there, and the special effects supervisor was Chris Nelson, Academy Award winner, doing everybody up. And the amount of blood, or fake blood, on this set, because it's the official theme song for Terrifier 3, called "A Work of Art."
Oh shit!
Yeah, so it takes place at an Ice Nine Kills show, and Art shows up, and all hell breaks loose. And Spencer confirmed to me that one of the kills that I make, the final shot that I had with them, is featured in it. So I'm pretty pumped.
That's amazing
to see this. Yeah. So it's coming out tonight. I'm waiting for pics to come to my cell phone. So we'll see what happens, but I'm geeking out about it. It's fun. It's not often to get to kill somebody.
No, that's amazing. Is it one of those things where it's going to be on the tail end of the film and before it pops up online?
I think tonight at least.
Oh, okay. So at least,
he didn't get too much into that. Yeah. He said that they were running into a couple of issues because, I mean, you know how Leatherface has a chainsaw, Myers has a knife, Jason has a machete. Art has a bag, and what's in that, no one knows. And the amount of
hopefully
gore,
he didn't stop at Diddy's first.
Yeah, the funniest part was
he has a bag of dildos.
Are you familiar with the penal code?
And by the way, even in makeup, the funniest thing is talking with David Howard Thornton on the set.
Yep.
And in full makeup, and we're talking politics.
That's amazing.
And it's just casual. He even has his teeth in.
Yeah.
Like, and
that's the
we're
only
just
way you
having,
can
like,
talk about politics these days.
we're
Is
just talking like
yeah.
this, and like, you know, being animated. And my friend Samantha's like, what are you talking? Well, like, Biden dropped out. You know, like, so he's just like, they're all just sweet people, and there were long days. I think the first day was 18 hours, the second day was 20 hours, but apparently it's worth it. People are saying it's their best video yet.
Wow.
And if you get a chance, because I just recently did it, it's not like I've been a fan forever, but their videos are fun.
Yeah, I have seen one of their videos at the very least.
They're like the modern Alice Cooper, like on stage.
Yeah.
Because
really,
they literally have.
Yeah, really well made as well. Like look like films, you know, from what I've seen.
Yeah. I'm working with Dan Hourahan, who directed his first 3 films. We're going to start work on something in the very near future. So I'm pretty pumped about that. He's really talented.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So if you get a chance, start booking the reservations now, folks. It's just a really good time. And if you like hugging people, like, this is the place for you.
Raven Shadow just wants people to touch him. So, I mean,
just touch me. I'll put my foot out. Just like rub my little toe.
Rub my little toe.
That's what I'm into. I'm in some weird shit. But no, man, just the love, man. Just like that night was so fucking crazy. And Anthony knows some kayfabe shit. But just to see that dude rolling up and giving him a hug and a kiss, and hanging out with D Rook and hanging out with his crew, and one of his boys gave me a ride home because I was like, yeah, we're gonna fucking go all in, brother. That was super sweet. And just we truly, Trick or Treat Radio was put over by Anthony and D Rook, and I can't
That's why you had such a good time, because
because
you had your fucking ego stroked.
I wish other things
$5 goes a long way.
A little something for yourself on the side, brother. Why don't you rocket strap me later on there, son?
Got a little, gave himself a Dutch rudder at the end.
Yeah, give a little how's your father there? All about the business, brother.
Well, seeing the fact, you know, we're all at a half a century mark or flirting with it now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know,
talk
like,
about that.
Oh, but at the same time, you know, coming from it now with those eyes and seeing a lot of people who are marginalized, a lot of people who are trying to find their own group of people who couldn't even do it during their formative years during a pandemic.
Yes. Right.
Now having the forum that we had that we never thought would go away.
Yep.
To make those new connections, to be around people who are just there because it's the only place they know people that have the same common interests. Just to see that joy passed down, that's just worth it all, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very fertile ground, the refuge that we had in horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of fertility, the fertility was flowing up and down, but it was families. It was special.
The freaky freak off fertility was flowing.
A goddamn joke to you, Jesus Christ!
Knock
you
knock.
Can't say anything. And he can't say anything that has to like garner a laugh. Everything has to be a goddamn joke with him.
What I'm trying to say is What I'm trying to
bring one tube of lube to a convention.
Yeah. 1 out of 1,000 or whatever it was. 10,000. I don't know how many.
I'm sorry, fucking dildo bouquet. I did tell the story to Nate about how you passed out on the air, and then he subscribed.
That'll do it.
So he's a good brother.
Hey, if we could get many more subscribers like him, just on the basis that I almost died on the air.
Yeah, he'll do it again.
Then I'm all for it.
He'll do it again.
I'll put it this way. You'll probably get 4 next year.
Oh, we can double it? Holy shit, that's amazing. Let me, real quick, speaking of that, Corny had posted something in the chat. This is 20 minutes ago or whatever. He says, when MZ was talking about how many people we had at the live podcast we did at Rock and Shock, And Corey says, "Wow, I was accused of letting MZ die in that room." MZ was blaming him for not telling everyone else for he was watching live on the show.
Anybody who was watching live could have alerted you guys that I was dying on the air, but nobody did anything.
Well,
It's ridiculous.
Do you guys have any other stories or anything to convey? Because we've kept Anthony way longer than we initially intended.
All I want to say, Wolfie, and this cascades to your little kid program that you do with the Star Wars. It was like that scene in Force Awakens in the trailer when like Han and Chewie come in, like, Chewie, we're home.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say it was like an Ewok party.
It's an Ewok party, like, that sounds like a
There ain't no party
party,
like an Ewok party because the Ewok party don't stop.
Yeah. Because, they ate somebody that wore the dress that Leia wore. And they tried to eat Han and Luke. But it was just so special. And guys, for real, like it was what we remember and what we forgot. And if you've heard the show and been a fan, if you've come here from everybody, I can't list everyone's name because I'm not that smart, but
there's a lot though. Yeah. And
this is legit, bro.
If we can get plans together, like, I don't know when it's going to be official, when it's booked and all that stuff, but and it'll take some time for us, I'm sure, to figure it out, but maybe that's something we can start coordinating ahead of time to allow people to travel.
And the Raven Chateau will get air mattresses. We'll build fucking tents.
There you go.
Forts. Yes, forts.
Yeah. And everyone can pee in your shower.
I'll stay at my mom's place.
You'll miss all the fun and stay with your mom. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Why don't you go eat some more fucking peanut butter and chicken? See you fucking live. It's a fucking Saturday.
Peanut butter and chicken.
I'll live just to spite you. I'll live.
That's true. You will.
All the real brothers will be making fucking tent forts and fucking wearing costumes.
All right, I think we'll cap it there because we still have a movie to discuss. But
why? All right.
Why? Because that's what we fucking do. And people tune in. I mean, yeah, this is awesome. This is fun, and people want to hear about it. But not everyone was at Silver Scream.
Yeah, and I also don't want to beat a dead horse. Like it's just make an effort next year to go. Yeah, that's my suggestion to everyone because you won't regret it. You really won't.
You won't.
We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll get something together. But it would be awesome to be there and to have a get together. So we're not making it official, but just keep that in mind if you're listening. Next September 2025, keep that in mind. So,
and who knows if it's going to stay in September? I'll keep you posted on that front.
Yeah. It'll be probably end of summer, early fall, probably.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony. It was fucking awesome having you on, man. I miss you, love you, and we'll definitely do it again soon and get you on for the whole episode. Maybe next time you won't be sick.
No, I guarantee every single. It's the running gag now. Yeah. It's my gimmick. I'm the sick guy, right?
That's his gimmick.
Oh, and one last thing, Anthony. I love you long time so much. You're such a sweet human being. And we'll put a cap on this, but a new tag team was formed, a new faction was formed.
Oh shit!
And that is the Up Boys.
The Up Boys. Are they gonna feud with the Down Boys?
We have the Down Boys, but the Up Boys. Myself, Anthony, and D-Rook doesn't know it, but D-Rook.
And do you lift each other up? Is that sort of the gimmick?
Yes.
Well, we just make hand gestures and pretend that we're falling.
Yeah,
that's
we
all
just
we
do a lot of this.
We do interpretive dance and scare people.
Raven Shadow, are you in the Down Boys and the Up Boys, or did you leave the Down Boys?
No, I'm like Wolverine. I'm in a lot of teams.
Yeah, but what if they
West
ever
Coast Avengers and the Avengers? I get it.
What if they ever come to blows? Like, which team are you going to be on?
I'll try to mediate. It's like when Wally West tried to negotiate a Titans JLA ceasefire.
Well, Ollie's telling you to fucking go do your thing. So I think we should take a break here. So
He's leaning a little bit towards the up boys.
everyone say bye to Anthony.
All right.
Bye, Anthony.
Love you, buddy.
Love
Anthony.
you guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
awesome
yes.
to have you on. Thanks for letting us know about the show, and we'll definitely keep in touch about next year. And obviously, we'll keep in touch. We talk every fucking day. So,
Talk to you in 2 minutes.
yeah, exactly. Talk to you in 2 minutes. But thanks for coming on, pal. And
Later, guys.
we're gonna just head to
All
a break, skip the other shit. So we'll be back in just a few minutes to talk about MaXXXine. All right, we'll see you guys in a moment.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories
With your host, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
we have action.
horror.
An adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast,
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
a podcast for the barbarian at heart.
I'm Alex West,
And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music, pants, quoting video games that don't have dialogues, shabibans, tasty news,
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
butt breathers, uncomfortable nature facts.
or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Reductopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we? We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
Like me.
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Inebriard Podcast Network, with new episodes out every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify.
I could be
Stitcher,
standing
or
outside a
SoundCloud.
woman's prison in a fistful of 50s and a bouquet of dildos, and no woman would come near me. Do you
Say a bouquet of dildos?
The song didn't play. Anyways, we're back.
Oh, it didn't play. Oh, great. 2 minutes of dead air and boredom.
Let's see. Was it? I don't think it was 2 minutes. Was it? No, it was a minute. That
Oh, for
sucks.
crying
though.
out loud.
Why didn't the song play? I'll have to check that. I set up the break ahead of time, like I have them all lined up, and for whatever reason, the music to lead in wasn't there. So
I'm still waiting. There we are. I was just about to say, where are we?
yeah,
There we are.
I was just trying to. I was
Okay.
looking at the music thing to try to figure out why it didn't play.
Well, that was a good discussion, huh?
Yeah. It makes me feel jealous. We weren't there.
We got to get back there, man.
Yeah, or get there.
We got to get a table. We got to get there.
Raven Shadow will get the table.
Yeah, he'll get the table. All right.
Shit. Yeah, it sounds fucking great, and yeah, I'm curious to check out to see what they got cooking. You know, We saw the photos and stuff like that, but it looks like they have some pretty great stuff going on down there.
Yeah. I mean, I know it ain't your bag, dude, or even Raven Shadow's bag for that matter. But I mean, is there anybody that you've always wanted to meet at one of these things and you just never have?
I don't know. It's a tough one because usually when we're there, we're just there for setting up the booth and doing the show and stuff. And I never even really look at the roster to see who's going to be there because I just know we're going to be doing other stuff. So for me, I haven't really even thought about it. But you're right. Like it's not a big deal to me. Like I would never pay $50 or whatever it is to meet someone and get their autograph. Like that's just. To me, it's just a waste of money. Like even if I had like excess money, it's just not something I would prioritize. But I mean, there have been some others like we have met. Like honestly, one of the coolest ones was like totally random. Tim Capello, right, Raven Shadow?
Oh my goodness!
When we got to hang out with Tim Capello, like that was fucking great. Like,
and that was a moment. I mean, we did decide to go in on a photo walk.
We did, yeah.
But we got a deal.
But he was a fucking great dude. And for that, like, what was like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 bucks? I don't know. Like, I don't remember, but
it was at most it was split between 50 at most.
I don't
if
think
it was even that.
Yeah.
But
maybe
20. We got separate photos and we both got autographs and he came on the show.
Yeah, and he was a guest, yeah.
And such a good brother. Like same thing. I met Malcolm McDowell, but my first year at Rock and Shock, I got a photo with Tom Savini for free. I said, "Hey, can I get a photo, bud?" And there was no one at his booth, and I got a photo with Jason Mewes, just like, "Hey," and he was just drawing dicks on his placement. Literally,
big
I actually have a photo of him drawing just dicks.
A friend of mine, Cindy. She was working with him, and she at the end of the con on Sunday afternoon, she asked if she could take the table mat or whatever it is, the table covering with her because it was nothing but his drawings that were all over it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, can I take this with me?" She goes, "Well," and he's like, "Well, what are you going to do for me?" And she starts simulating a blowjob. She starts doing the whole thing. And he's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, take it."
Yeah,
that's funny.
And even that year was when I saw you. It was pre-show, and I even got a picture with the girl. She was in Lord of the G-Strings and Spider Babe, the brunette.
Misty Monday.
No, it wasn't Monday. It was her brunette friend.
Well, Misty Monday is brunette.
No. Misty Monday is a redhead.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is.
No, she's a brunette.
No.
Erin Brown is a brunette.
Are you talking about brown? Like brown hair, not black hair?
Her name is Erin Brown. She has brown hair.
No.
This is going to go down a rabbit hole. I just know it is. Wolfie, let's
get this
offline.
Please. But this girl went down on Misty Monday.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about now.
Remember, it was
Ruby LaRocca. Ruby LaRocca.
Yeah, the AC was broken, and they were sitting there, and there was ice.
Probably.
This is fucking weird. Let's stop this conversation.
Yeah, please, let's stop.
Misty Monday, is that Erin Brown? Is that her name?
That's what I said. Yep.
Okay, sorry, I was looking it up, and so she has light brown hair. It looks like. Yeah. At least in the picture I see.
Also worked with Brian Paul.
Well, Monday is spelled like Mundae.
Yeah.
Like Sunday.
No, it's not
like Solomon Monday.
Like Hot Fudge Sunday.
Oh, Hot Fudge Sunday. Yeah.
Hot Fudge Monday. That's fucking weird.
Jesus.
That's not good.
That's part of the Friday Freak Off.
Yeah.
What was
dildos needed there. Okay.
What did you say again? Hot Fudge Monday?
Hot Fudge Monday. Yeah, okay. I'm not proud of it.
That's all right.
I'm not.
I'm not. Oh, it looks like she's been in some stuff recently. I just saw this movie come up on like new releases. It's called Spooked, Spookt. It's coming out soon, and she's in that, so she's still doing stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
She worked for Morbid Vision Films, I believe.
Did she?
Yeah. She did. She did. Oh God.
I'm looking to see.
It's like Womb Raider, but it's not Womb Raider. It's
Yeah.
Oh God, what the hell was the name of it? I can't remember the name of it. It's like Tomb Raider,
but with a womb.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, but it's not Womb Raider either. Even though it's the most obvious choice for a title, it's not that either. I can't remember the name of it.
I'm looking at all her things, and I mean, Mummy Raider, is that it?
Mummy Raider, that's
Okay,
it.
okay.
Mummy Raider.
Oh, she was also Night of the Groping Dead. What the fuck?
Bong.
Okay.
But that was also the pre Walking Dead panel years.
Yeah, that's when
pre
shit
Walking
went
Dead
nuts.
effect.
Yeah.
When everyone was just chilling. But it was so much fun, guys. Like legit, like all jokes aside, it was special. It was very special, and I wish I could have been there more nights than
The most special hour of your weekend.
No, I went all deep, brother.
Brother.
Oh, 2 hours.
90 minutes.
Yeah. I'm a 90-minute man. No.
All right, let's
we got a film to discuss.
Yeah, so real quick before we jump into that, I just didn't want to hold up the first segment any longer, but I just want to talk real quick about the patreon.trickortreatradio.com. If you guys want to check it out and support us, you can join for as little as $2 a month. We just popped up a new episode, and it was actually pretty fun. We did a comedy of horrors is what it's called, and we basically took a comedy film, like a beloved comedy film from our youth, and basically made a pitch to turn it into a horror film. What would we change about it? What would be different? Things like that. And you guys got to hear MZ's to fucking believe it. Like, I'm not even going to say anything. You got to hear it to believe it. That's all I'm going to say. It's worth the $2 just for MZ's fucking thing. So
it took a turn, Wolfie.
It
right?
took
Am I the only one?
No, it took a turn.
It got ugly.
Yeah, quick.
So patreon.trickortreatradio.com. Check that out. It was our let's see, I think it was our 60th. Yeah, 60th Patreon exclusive. So we've been doing them for 60 months. We do one a month. And give it a look. Patreon.trickortreatradio.com. That's all I'll talk about. On trickortreatradio.com, you can go there. You can find the Amazon link. You can find the store to get our greatest hits. So give those a look if you want to support. We appreciate any and all support. All right.
Just saying one thing about that. Like, we have, for the first time in Patreon history, we have plans for the next fucking 3 months.
4 or 5 months, I think.
For all of them.
You must be hyped for next month, though.
Oh, I am fucking hyped.
You're
hyped.
not hyped. You're at
hard.
attention. Yeah, you're at attention.
I am hard for Cocktober. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, shit. Oh, you know what? I was going to say during the intro, you guys are going to fucking love this. And this will be super quick because I really want to get into this film.
Yeah.
But so Tanya and I haven't really gone out much like lately. Like, we just fucking hang out at home and we go grocery shopping, and that's pretty much it. Because we're in Maryland and there's nothing down here, and it's kind of shitty. But I mean, it's, just being honest. And then, but anyways, Tanya was like, you know what? We should go to fucking Chili's. Like, when was the last time we went to a Chili's? There's literally a Chili's 3 minutes down the road. It's been here the whole time. So we went to Chili's. We just got chips and salsa, and you guys are going to love this. I had a fucking margarita.
Yeah, boy!
Look at you being an alcoholic.
I know. I'm fucking lush now. Like, I'm
And
drinking a polar seltzer.
And how did you like it?
It was
How
good.
did you like it?
I liked it. It's funny. I haven't even told you guys, but I've had a drink here or there with Tanya when we've moved down here. It was one of those things where I don't know why I didn't have any strong feelings about it. It wasn't, I just didn't. It just chose not to. And then one time I just tried it with Tanya, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. So we also went to a like a Irish pub down here, maybe like 2 months ago, and I got a fucking I got a cider. I had an apple cider.
Oh, a little chicken cider, huh?
So maybe like 5 drinks in the last 5 years.
God damn! Look at this. Next thing you know, he's gonna be drinking out of a paper bag.
Maybe living in a paper bag.
I got you, baby. I got some Boone's Farm with your name on it, dog.
And as I say that, I just fucking spilled fucking seltzer all over me. I must be drunk.
Yo, alky. Can't control. You got no motor function anymore. You can't control yourself.
No, it's all my
But that's
beard.
the thing, Wolfie, like, it was just never your thing. It was never your gimmick, but you never shit on anybody for enabling.
No, and
and you just wasn't your bag.
right. I had no reason. It just was that's not something I want to do. So, and one thing, as I'm sure a lot of people are doing, reevaluating shit during the pandemic, right? It's like, let me reevaluate things about my life and like let me take a look at things from a different perspective. And I was like, you know what? Like, I have no reason why I'm not drinking. Why not have a drink here or there? Like, if I don't like it, I don't like it. I won't have it.
Yeah.
Now you're drinking and you're stumbling and lack of oxygen to your brain, and you're saying to yourself, "Wow, so this is how Raven Shadow feels."
I think I've had the amount of drinks in the past 5 years that Raven Shadow's had tonight.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Admit it, Raven Shadow. That's beer you're drinking. Out of your Batman cup.
Yeah, what are you drinking? Labatt's? No. Rolling Rock. What are you drinking?
I'm the Labatt man.
Labatt man? Labatt man.
No, I'm diversifying. I got a little bit of the Coors Light gimmick for the sessions.
Gimmick. Stop saying that.
Why? No, because you want to have this.
Coors Light for the. Why don't you get the fucking Johnny Lawrence fucking?
Yeah, what happened to the banquet?
Yeah, the banquet.
Yeah. No, but I want to.
Sam
I'm
Abrams?
going with the lights because that's good for sessions.
You're
session drinking.
You're watching your waist too.
Yeah. But no, I have
This is what I'm drinking.
Oh yeah, that's why you're a lot of fun.
It's from Maine, right?
From Poland Spring, Maine, about maybe an hour and a half away from here.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, maybe
right.
we're fucking real caterpillars.
All right, if there's time, we can talk more at the end. But I just wanted to figure that'd be fun. I figured you guys would get a kick out of that.
But no, I know you did a shot when with D Watt.
Oh yeah, when the Patriots won one of the Super Bowls. Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's not something I would do very often. I just did it because fucking Super Bowl.
All right, so when we come up for next year for 2025,
I'll have a drink with you. I'll have a drink with you, Raven Shadow.
We'll go with Loving Hut, and then we'll have a drink.
Okay.
I'll eat some fucking.
You'll eat some
kale,
some vegan food, and I'll have a drink with you.
Yeah, that's not awesome.
This is like Raven Shadow's fucking fantasy.
I am. I'm doing the fucking storyboards right now for that. What do you think of that?
So that's a okay substitute for steak quesadillas.
Yep.
Okay.
I will forego that. You tell me what to fucking eat, and I'll tell you what to drink, dog.
All right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to listen to you about what to drink.
Yeah, we'll get a couple of edibles going and be fine.
All right, let's jump into this because it's 10 o'clock and holy shit! Like I really was excited. I'm really excited to talk about this movie.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to talk about MaXXXine, and I didn't even mention it like at the beginning of the show. We just got right into it with Anthony, but so we're going to talk about MaXXXine, this film from 2024, rated R. It is 1 hour 43 minutes. It is a serial killer, slasher, horror, crime, horror. I love that IMDb is diversifying now with their subgenres. And the film is written and directed by Ty West, good friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Hi, I'm Ty West.
Hi, I'm Ty West. By way of Tiny doing an impression of Ty West way back in the day.
Tiny West.
Tiny West, yeah. But I would say like we've had a pretty long relationship with our boy Ty West. He's been pretty much with us for the whole almost the whole duration of the show. Actually, one of the reasons why, like, and this is ancient history, but before we did the show, House of the Devil was one of the films that I bonded with our former hosts over. really fucking loving that movie. They showed me that movie and I was like, all right, yeah, this is fucking legit. Like, because not that I hadn't watched horror, but I wasn't as in tune as I once was. But House of the Devil got me fucking all the way back. I fucking adore that movie. MZ, you're a big fan too, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, fucking, it's so good. And that, if I'm not mistaken, that was, actually, I think he had one film prior to that, but it was like one of his first films.
Oh, did he make The Innkeepers?
Yes.
Yeah. And The Sacrament.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So those are all early on. Those were all when we all were on the movie discussion.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it goes way back. And that's right. He did The Roost and Trigger Man, and then House of the Devil. So he did have two, I would say, indie, like really low budget indie flicks, and then House of the Devil in 2009, which is near perfection as far as I'm concerned. And then he went on to do Cabin Fever 2, The Innkeepers. He did a segment of VHS, of the first VHS. And then this is about the time that our relationship with Ty West took a turn when he did The ABCs of Death. M is for Miscarriage. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was so pissed at that fucking short. It was so it was shit. I just was like, how can the director of The Innkeepers and House of the Devil make this? Like, I was like, come on. And then he did The Sacrament, which was okay. I think it had
too on the nose.
A little too on the nose. It had some issues. It just didn't have that feel that Ty West had. And then, from there, he did some TV stuff. He did Scream, the TV series. He did an episode of a series called South of Hell. And then he came back with In a Valley of Violence, which that was another one we did, a Western. Not bad. Not horror, really, but it had some elements, and thought it was pretty good. Not, once again, maybe a step up from The Sacrament, but not anywhere near House of the Devil. And then from there, he did a bunch of other TV. He did The Exorcist, Outcast, Wayward Pines, The Passage, Chambers, The Resident. Jeez, like it just goes on and on.
Shit.
And then, so he did In a Valley of Violence in 2016, and his next film wouldn't be until 2022. And that was X. So he put out X in 2022, and that was a big return to form for Ty West, because that one was getting a lot of praise. It kind of came out of nowhere, I would say. Well, I don't know about nowhere, but it didn't have a lot of fanfare. And it just kind of came out, and a lot of praise. And then as soon as that dropped, he announced that there is a sequel that's almost ready to come out. It came out the same year, Pearl. So he did X and then Pearl, put him out in the same year, like filmed them pretty much back to back, and said that there's another one. There's going to be a third film in the trilogy. And that is the one we're talking about in MaXXXine. So before I still want to get to the cast and things like that, but MZ, you were with us for X. If I'm not mistaken, you reviewed X with us, but you did not review Pearl because that was during your sabbatical, I believe.
Yep.
So did you get a chance to watch Pearl prior?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I in fact I wanted to refamiliarize myself with
X. Right? Yeah.
So
I should have done that.
X, and then I watched Pearl for the first time last night. In fact, I watched X and then Pearl both last night, and then I watched today's movie earlier today.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you saw them all in quick succession.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. X is brilliant. It's just fantastic. I love that movie. Now, as far as Pearl goes, Jesus Christ, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's got the tone is completely different.
Yeah.
And it's equally unsettling. you know, we just yeah, I don't need to tell you guys, but I mean, when we realize, you know, the evolution of Pearl and how she became to be, was really interesting. And, you know, there were times where you're just like clenching your teeth saying, God damn it. You know, because you get so angry with her mother and the way her father was at that point and everything like that. It was just, it just drove you crazy because you felt so bad for her, you know?
Yeah.
But there was really nothing that could be done. And, you know, she has some legitimate, you know, ways to get out, and she doesn't really take them. But the violence is there. The violence is great. She lays out a monologue in this movie in the kitchen, I believe it is, where they're sitting at the kitchen table. That monologue, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
You know, and I'll use the same description of the monologue as I will for the final scene while the credits are rolling over.
Oh man,
that is pure adrenaline going.
It's twisted,
and to maintain that look, and yet emote the way she did. That's pure adrenaline doing that. I don't know how the hell she did it, but that was fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's fucking creepy. I mean, you just want to get the hell out of there.
Raven Chow, do you remember the end of Pearl during the credits? She's just sitting at the table, like laughing maniacally.
Not even laughing. She's just smiling.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, smiling.
She's got this shit-eating grin on her face while tears, like halfway through it, start rolling down her cheeks.
Yep.
And it's funny, like, just going that memory lane of the Ty West films we've discussed over the years, you know, and my mileage may vary. And it's also what I've changed as a film watcher and what I'm willing to kind of like, you know, what I'm more into. I've really enjoyed I don't know what you want to call it,
the X trilogy.
The Max.
Yeah,
the X trilogy, you know, X gonna give it to you, you know. And
X gonna have a freak off.
X gonna have a freak off. How do you solve for X? You can't, because X gonna give it to you. I've liked the progression of the X-averse in the order they've come out. Like, I've liked them all, but I've liked each continuation more. And obviously, you don't need me or anybody else on the show to tell you that Mia Goth is the shit, right? Like, she is fucking dope as fuck, and what she brings to the table. And yeah, like, I enjoyed X, but I really liked Pearl. So I was super psyched to fucking dive into this fucking joint.
Yeah, so let's quickly go through the cast. As you mentioned, we do have Mia Goth playing Maxine Minx, and let's see, we have Elizabeth Debicki, Chloe Farnworth, where is it? Oh, the great Giancarlo Esposito. It was awesome to see him.
We're gonna get to that.
Moses Sumney, Halsey. And Halsey is like I think she's a pop musician, if I'm not mistaken. And also, actually, Sophie Thatcher. Let me mention Sophie Thatcher. She was in, what was that show you liked with Marion with Juliette Lewis?
Oh, yeah, Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets, yeah.
She was the young version
effects.
of, oh my gosh, Natural Born Killers.
Juliette Lewis.
Yeah. And I did watch this with Marion, and Marion popped. She pointed out that character and that actress, and she also pointed out a certain uncle.
Certain uncle.
Uncle Larry, guys, come on, pretend you've been here before.
Who's Uncle Larry?
Uncle Larry Fessenden.
Oh, Fessenden. Yes, thank you, because I might not have.
The security
guard. Yeah. Also, in addition, it also had Bobby Cannavale as one of the detectives.
From Boardwalk Empire, which Marion also pointed out.
Oh yeah, I don't know. He was in something else that we did recently. I'm trying to remember what it was. Shit, I remember seeing him in something that we did. Sorry, I'm looking to see if I can find out real quick. He was in Mr. Robot. I didn't see that, but I know a lot of people like
that gimmick with the pretty boy that was cinematic.
It's not a gimmick. It's a fucking TV show. Jesus Christ.
Guys, you fucking know what I'm fucking talking about.
No, but you don't need to say that every time. It's silly.
Use words that are right, dude. Use the right words. Oh,
don't.
Well, at least you got Anthony's name right.
Yeah, it's not a gimmick. It's a name. All right, I want to know. Bobby Cannavale. I remember him.
Wasn't he cinematic Freddie Mercury?
Yeah, for the dude from Mr. Robot. Yeah.
Yeah. iRobot or some fucking.
No, Mr. Robot.
And I saw Toby
Huss. I was just about to say that. Yeah, I fucking love Toby Huss.
It was Khan Supernuicenphone from King of the Hill.
I love Toby Huss. And of course, the fucking great Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
He was so fucking amazing in this.
Such a heel.
He was so fucking good. And also Simon Prast.
Yes.
Who was that?
He played, I don't want to say, just in case people haven't seen. He plays a character that gets revealed. How about that?
Okay, copy that.
It's his gimmick.
It's his gimmick. All right, so the synopsis of this flick. In 1980s Hollywood, adult film star and aspiring actress MaXXXine Minx finally gets her big break. But as a mysterious killer stalks the starlets of Hollywood, a trail of blood threatens to reveal her sinister past. All right, so it's interesting because I want to talk about this film mostly, but I really kind of want to tie the three films together because this is one of the most interesting trilogies, at least in horror, maybe in film, because yeah, like the way that the story is told is really interesting because we at first in the first film X we get to meet MaXXXine and Pearl. And then we have two subsequent films which follows each of them. We get to see Pearl when she was younger, trying to make it as a star. And then we see MaXXXine later in the, 6 years later in 1985, trying to get her big break. So it's really about like ambition and fame and what it does to people. And, I think that's like one of the major themes of it. And I just think it's a really interesting way of doing it because at first we meet those first two characters and they're at very different points of their life, but then we go and explore other aspects of their life in the subsequent films. And I will agree with you, Raven Shadow. I think for me, and once again, I haven't seen X and Pearl since we did them on the show. I never did a rewatch, but I think this steps up the quality. I think each film, not necessarily the quality, but I think each film just builds up and gets a little bit better. So we'll talk about that.
The mythology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the storytelling.
Yeah. And this one, holy fuck. This was a treasure trove for 80s fucking nostalgia. Oh man, I fucking adored that aspect of it. This to me, and I haven't seen some of these movies in a while, so maybe I'm misremembering, but for me, this felt like Angel meets the first Power. And it even had a fucking reference to the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. In LA, it took place at the same time in the same place. So that's exactly the feel I got. Like I got like kind of like Angel with the first Power, which I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, I definitely got those Angel vibes, especially when you see the nightlife of Hollywood.
Yep.
The city streets, they're packed and there's like there's these street performers out there, and they're trying to entertain the passersby by doing tricks or singing a song or whatever, making a buck here and there, and it's right out of Angel. And Angel's great. To those who have never seen Angel, hooker, high school student by day, hooker by night, but it is so much more, I don't want to say friendly or lighthearted, because it's not. It's far from it. But you just love the characters in that movie. You can't help but love them.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much like with the exception of the killer, everybody in this movie is pretty much lovable. You can't help it.
So can I throw in something here? I think everything you folks said is I can buy into, but also this was an 80s sleaze, 57th Street version of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Ooh, 42nd Street.
I'm sorry, 42nd Street. I'm not good with numbers.
Yeah, I know.
That's your gimmick.
I'm not. Yeah, my gimmick. It's really good. We're chilling over there. We're smoking butts outside, being brothers.
57th Street.
Yeah, Heinz 57th Street. But no, this definitely had the Tarantino thing. The fucking what I say, Hollywood Hustle. What's it called?
It had the Quentin Tarantino thing. Feet.
Yeah, a lot of feet. Gimmick.
What are you talking about? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No, yeah, it had a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, that gimmick?
It took, there was Upon a Time in Hollywood gimmick where it took, real life, like it blended the Night Stalker gimmick with like the
I'm going to ban you from using that word.
No, I'm going to use the word all the time.
Then I will mute you all the time.
And you'll be fined.
No one will know. It's fine.
Yeah. You'll be fined $100 fucking every time you say the word gimmick. But am I really on a fucking island where you guys didn't think fucking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with the fucking Sharon Tate thing?
I still haven't seen it. I know that's sacrilege, but I haven't seen it.
That was a very popular movie back
yeah, no shit. Okay.
What do I think? Not really.
There's a lot of
at least not until the murders happened.
There's a lot of movies that do that, though. There's a lot of movies that reference.
But then I don't want to give anything away if Wolfie hasn't seen it, but I would say probably not.
I'm just saying the love for the era. Like this was a love letter to that part of LA, that Viper Room, that Rainbow Room, that like Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue playing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was Vince Neil in this?
Yeah, well, he was in the, Vince Neil.
Come on,
that's fine.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. I love the Crew. I have the autograph upstairs.
Still fat shaming him.
Not fat shaming him.
Yeah,
like my man can't sing no more.
All right, enough. Talk about the movie. Come on.
I'm fucking trying to talk about it. You guys are like fucking confused. I'm just saying that I was locked in from the jump. Is what I'm trying to say.
From 21 Jump Street.
I was like locked in from 21 Jump Street. Me and fucking Doug Hansen.
All right. So let's do first impressions. I know we're kind of jumping all over the place, but MZ, I know you sort of talked about X and Pearl. So did you have any expectations coming into MaXXXine? Were you thinking it was like, because those two films are pretty different in tone, Yeah. So what were you thinking versus what you got, and what was your impression after finishing it?
Well, any film nowadays that harkens back to the 1980s is already going to get points in my book.
Sure.
And whereas Ty West was able to get the 70s vibe correct in the first film, and I'm going to assume he got it right in the second film during 1918. I wasn't there, but I'm going to assume he got it right. He got it. He got the vibe of this one right again. I was hoping it would be, because I knew it was set in the 80s. I think it was like 84, 85, at least I thought it was, and it turns out it was 85.
85, yeah.
Set in. So I think the vibe was definitely there. The atmosphere was there. He had everything clicking here. I mean, it was just absolutely spot on. He didn't go as wide as Tarantino did in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but he didn't have to. And I'm glad for that. He didn't have to go big. Just go medium or small and let the story do the rest of the work. So I was very pleasantly not surprised, but happy to see that he nailed the aesthetic of the 1980s, the mid 1980s. And what was the question again? The second question?
Well, I mean, just first impression, basically. I mean, I was just kind of giving you some, yeah.
Okay. But I was really happy with this, the way this looked, the way they tied into the real life situation with the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. Even though they didn't mention him by name, they kept on saying the Night Stalker, but they never mentioned. Not that they, well, actually, only because they didn't know who he was. But even when they did find out who he was, they still didn't bring up his name. So I don't know how I feel about that, but that, I mean, I don't care. It's fine. Then, like you said, it ties into like Angel Meets the First Power and a heavy religious connotation that's attached to this film that attaches itself to the first film when we see the television playing this evangelist. And it ties into this, and I've always said religion and horror, especially, religion is always made to look bad in horror, and they do a good job here with that here. So I was very happy to see that, because religion is bad, people. Religion is bad. Get out of it. Stay away from it. It's a cult. But so far, I was very, very happy with what I was seeing.
MZ, there's a little bit of a fan noise coming in on your mic.
Is there?
Yep. Just
any better?
No.
No. Okay, hold on.
I may have to just shift the fan a little bit. I think it's blowing right into your mic.
Yeah, it really helps.
Okay, there.
Okay,
How's
cool.
that?
So far, so good. So cool. Thanks. All right, Raven Shadow, how about you? First impression.
Yeah, man, I was along for the ride, man. I was super excited for this. Didn't see any trailers. Didn't see any fucking whatever the fuck. I just knew it was the new Ty West joint, and it was fucking a continuation of the MaXXXine fucking storyline, and I loved it. I loved the aesthetic, but it wasn't just here's the 80s. It was the time period, and I thought it really blended a lot of things. You felt that LA sleaze. The only thing I knew by pressing play, I did see Kevin Bacon's name in there, but if I didn't know he was in it, he probably would have been unrecognizable until a certain point. And he channeled that sleazy Bacon, like sleazy Bacon from Sleepers.
Yeah.
Where
I was thinking Sleepers too.
Right? Like I saw that in theaters with my buddy Andy Farrell, and that was not fun. Like I couldn't watch Footloose for like 3 years after that fucking movie. And he was just sleazy, and like there was so many nods to like back in the day. Like I think Bacon's character definitely had a very Chinatown Jack Nicholson kind of gimmick going.
Definitely.
There was a line about come out wherever you are. little nod to at least De Niro's Cape Fear interpretation. I think it leaned into the aesthetic, and I'm just like, where is this fucking going? And it was a movie that was set in the sleazy porn world without being gratuitous. I thought MaXXXine's audition was fucking powerful. And then the line where they're like, okay, can you show us your tits?
Yeah, I know. That was one. I think that's one of the coolest scenes, like in a movie this year. Like it's so simple too, right? It's just her, doing a screen test or a tryout audition. I mean, and and just fucking killing it, right? Like she's coming in, and her background, and you're kind of like, yeah, she's probably gonna be a hack and whatever. But then when she does that and she's crying and you can feel it, it's fucking palpable, right? And just such a cool scene.
And that's the thing too, where she's showing like fucking, I'll fucking show you. I love the fucking director in their interaction.
Yeah, I really like that character. Yeah.
Yeah.
They mentioned Marilyn Chambers, which she was, and let's just, listen, all jokes aside, right, wrong, or indifferent, it's acting, right? You could look at what, oh my God, Tracy Lords did. You know what I mean? Like Sasha Grey has done mainstream stuff.
Jenna Jameson,
has done some stuff. I firmly believe that sex workers should not be villainized. You know what I mean? Because fuck you.
Especially now. I think we're to a point where it should be a legitimate career if people want it to be. Like don't look down on anyone's career. Like you don't look down at, I don't know. Like you don't want to be looked down upon if whatever you do.
Right. It's like, oh, fucking Jackie Chan does his own stunts. Yeah, he's a fucking stunt man.
Right.
That's why he can do it. Like fucking the stunt coordinator on a lot of action films is the one that fucking directed John Wick fucking films. You know what I mean? Like, don't fucking, no shame in the game, dog, how you got in your fucking position.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whether you can fucking take a punch, take a dick, it's not a fucking crime. And it's not any less talented. So I'm saying that to be provocative, but it's still, cheerleading is a fucking sport.
I don't get what you mean by that.
What I'm trying to say is like don't fucking dismiss fucking the art form because it's not your thing. Like cheerleaders gotta fucking throw fucking people up. They gotta fucking do shit. It's fucking athletics. Like, no shame in the game, but there's still acting involved, and I like her arc. I like her relationship with the director, and saying like, okay, I'm gonna find somebody. You be that one. But there's a sinister thing going on in the background.
Cool. Anything else, Raven Shadow?
No.
Okay, so one thing I actually just want to say, this doesn't have anything to do with my first impression, but I watched an interview with Mia Goth on, it was actually on what was I think it's the Kimmel show, but it wasn't Kimmel, it was actually Catherine Hahn who was filling in for Kimmel, and she was fucking she was a riot. Like I think she's really funny, Catherine Hahn, and so she was hosting, and I had no idea that Mia Goth has a British accent. She basically, I guess she grew up all over, but like it's a British accent because she lived in London most of her life. And it's,
wait, what?
Yep. It's a high pitched British accent.
I had fucking no idea.
It's crazy. Let me pull up just a bit because it's crazy. Like I had no idea, especially when you hear her do like the southern drawl, and she kind of has like a little bit of a lower voice. Go ahead. What you thought? What?
Well, no, I thought legit she was like a Southern belle, man.
Nope.
Wow.
She's a Brit.
Yep.
And it probably reminds me of hearing like Like who was fucking Dracula?
Gary
Well, which
Oldman?
Dracula?
Yeah, which one are we talking about? Gary Oldman?
Thank you.
Okay.
Find out Gary Oldman was fucking not American, or even like Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy, where on the DVD commentary he's like, "I like to ride the motorbike."
All right, here's
What the fuck?
let me play a little bit. Here's Mia Goth.
Okay, so this is my first time guest hosting, and this is your first time.
Yeah, this is my first time being a guest.
That's fucking hot, really?
Yeah.
But I just had a martini, so I feel a little better now. I feel ready. I feel warmed up. I feel good.
Okay, good. I'm a martini behind. I think you're phenomenal. I remember what I mean.
Let's see.
seeing this
Catherine
movie, I
not
just
talks
kept
for a
thinking-
while.
Oh,
Let's-
here.
I know it's amazing. It's such an honor. I'm such a huge fan of his writing, and the fact that he even knows that this trilogy exists, and it's
a trip.
It's amazing.
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, that
I
too.
always have to watch the pronunciation. But he's also been praising it non.
So there you go. Just enough to hear. Yeah. It's like a higher sort of register British accent. Had no idea. I've seen her in a bunch of movies too. So
No fucking idea.
yeah. But in that clip, they were showing a tweet from Stephen King saying MaXXXine is amazing. So she was saying that I had no idea he even knew the movies existed. So
that's killer.
So anyways, first impression, yeah, I was excited because I thought X was good, and I thought Pearl was just a step above, and obviously the 80s is near and dear. We grew up in the 80s. We sort of like came into ourselves in the 80s, and that sounds weird. Like, all right, well, we grew, you know what I mean. Like, it shaped who we are. And
we came into our napkins during the 80s. That was
I came into a sock in the 80s.
and we know.
Jesus Christ.
He still has it.
He named it Krusty. Krusty the Sock.
The light is green, the trap is clean. There you go, brother.
So, yeah, I was really looking forward to this, and right from the fucking jump, this movie looks amazing. I actually didn't look it up. I'm going to look it up now. I'm guessing this was not filmed in 35 mil. Let's see.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't think it
doesn't
was.
look it.
No, I think it was just a really good kind of film wash in post production. But anyways, like it looked really fucking good. It looked grainy in all the right ways, and this film was very beige at times, and it showed the 80s like it actually was, not everything being fucking neon and pink and yellow and green.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So that was a nice touch, but it did have the neons. It had the right amount of neons, and I think that this movie felt dangerous at times. And this is a bigger film because we have X took place on a farm, basically, right?
Yep.
Pearl took place in a small town, like in a cornfield. I think it was also a farm too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So
yeah, the same farm.
Same farm. That's right. Yeah, of course. Of course.
It was filmed like pretty much like
same
as
time.
a weird whim. Like, hey, let's make a new fucking movie while we're doing this movie.
Right. So, whereas with this one, I feel like the scope was just bigger because it was a city, and you got a feel for the city. We got higher production value. We got to see the fucking Hollywood sign. We got to see the fucking Psycho House. Like, holy shit. Like,
yeah,
that was cool.
Fucking Chekhov's Psycho House.
Yeah. We got to see, it just felt bigger overall. And
Chekhov set piece.
Yeah. The film felt dangerous to the point where I didn't really know what was going to happen with MaXXXine in this because we had seen X and Pearl. And we know in X what MaXXXine does, and like she's a survivor. She'll do what she has to, right? And in this, like right off the bat, like we get some shit when that dude fucking corners her in the alleyway.
Oh,
that fucking
My
scene was
fucking God.
Yeah, that was amazing. But it just shows you, like, don't fuck with her, because she will crush your nuts, like literally.
Literally. I saw that and I just turtled, man. It was just, oh boy.
You got a turtle head.
Oof.
But it was like, where are you gonna fucking go? And
Right,
it was
right.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like Mary and I watched that in the room the other night, and like, where are you fucking going?
Right.
And when that scene happened, like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? I almost called in to work today.
And I didn't know I didn't know if the Night Stalker thing was just to put it in a time and place,
Right. Or are
if
they really gonna fucking fight the
or
Night
is this part of it? And it's interesting because
or is it a red herring?
Right. And I don't think they ever fully address. They don't fully address it. Like, I don't want to talk too much about it because obviously I don't want to reveal the end. But it's like there were some copycat killers of Night Stalker. So I just wasn't sure at times if this was supposed to be a copycat or something else. So that was one of the parts that I was like, okay, this is pretty interesting that they're doing this and using this real life thing as a backdrop.
Because they keep harping on it.
Right.
It's like hey, this is what's going on at this time.
Yeah. So it started to grow of like, oh, okay, this isn't just a side, like kind of like a side story where we're seeing it played out on TV.
Right. Like, why is it like 80s? Oh, Republicans, AIDS,
Right.
Reagan,
Oh,
neon.
Yeah. And speaking of which, sorry to interrupt,
No,
but
please. Go ahead.
I love them showing that fucking D. Schneider footage. I could watch that every fucking day. The fucking MS, what was it? The holy shit! I almost said MSRB.
PMRC.
PMRC. Yeah. Was it parents? I don't know.
Typical, and
and D. Snyder just shutting that shit down.
That
coming
dude's
in like a fucking brother with his long hair, asshole, fucking wardrobe.
That dude
and
is still a fucking legend for that. He could have done nothing else after that.
He's like, I don't drink, I don't smoke. Oh, what's the song Under the Blade? No, it's about my bass player who had his fucking appendix removed. If you think it's sadomasochistic, maybe you got some fucking problems. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but goddamn.
Yeah. Well, it's not like they got Gigi Allen in there to talk.
Don't bring in. But you brought in that triumvirate of fucking Frank Zappa, D. Snyder, and fucking John motherfucking Denver, who fucking did a song with fucking Kermit. Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I think the only other person that could have done better than D. Snyder is Frank Zappa.
Well, once again, bro, for real.
Yeah, you're right about that. I John Denver, I don't know, but Frank Zappa and D. Snyder, oh my god.
But you brought the whitest. But you brought in the whitest meat fucking baby face in John Snyder, because not John Snyder.
John Snyder.
That'd be awesome. I would like John Snyder, D. Snyder, and Schneider.
Schneider Man.
And Duke Snyder and Schneider Man, yes, and Schneider. Hey, Mr.
John
Romano.
Denver, the whitest meat baby face is Rocky Mountain High. That's about drugs. It's not a motherfucker. It's about a geek fucking hiking, dog. As simple as that.
I want to stay a little bit on topic because
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I mean, I love this conversation, but we didn't start the film discussion until 10, so just don't have that much time. I love the aesthetic. I love everything about it. And yeah, I had no idea where this film was going to go, because clearly it did feel different from what they were doing in the previous ones. And I had no idea where it was going to go. And I love that. I was kind of along for the ride. And I just loved the portrayal of MaXXXine in this. I thought she was great. That scene, I am still on the first impression, so I don't want to talk too much about scenes, but I do want to bring up fuck it. That's my first impression. Love the aesthetic. The style is just off the fucking chain. And you know what? Like, it had style, but it also had substance. And if you think about those movies, think about like The First Power or like Angel, like the films that mentioned previously. Right. Those movies are all like good, right? They're not, the story isn't like, holy shit, that fucking story is so good. It's just, it's supportive of what you see. It's supportive of the visuals. Ah, look at that. Yeah. So it's just supportive of it holds it all together, right? Whereas with this, I feel it had the style, but it also had a good story. I think this, we'll talk about some nitpicks maybe in a bit. But yeah, I love the style. I love the look of it. I love the references, and it just, I didn't know where it was going to go. And I love that about it. And it connected me early on and kept me along for the ride. So, first impression. Now I want to jump into, I was going to talk about the scene where, actually, I mean, there's so many scenes in this, but one of the scenes when she's getting the makeup, not the makeup, but the latex, where they're making a cast of her face.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was a really great scene, because she is kind of has some like trauma from her previous, from the events of X.
But that's the thing. And like, I was watching that with Marion again in the room, and I'm like, oh, okay, so that's the thing. And it's a weird thing to have the same actress play other roles in a trilogy out of time. Like, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't really recall another thing like this.
Right. Well, she only played Pearl and MaXXXine, but still, yeah, like the Pearl one was a surprise at the end of the first one,
Right, but now she's playing the character from the first movie,
right,
from the 70s to now the 80s.
Years later after getting over that. And
so, and much like you, Wolfie, I've only seen them once when we discussed them for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, okay. And then you kind of get the cut of its jib, and you're like, oh. Yeah. And you kind of locked in. So it's kind of got a little that, So we've named a lot of other films, maybe a little bit of Boogie Nights, or just,
I don't know what
this.
What?
But no, but it's its own thing. I'm trying to like give people something they can like drop their anchor to, but like it's its own unique thing and very special. And that's why I'm like, where you going with this? How fucking dark is it gonna get? How am I gonna get fucking weirded out? You know what I mean? Don't be upset. We're on the same page.
What?
What?
I don't know. Yeah, that's my question.
All right.
I do.
So I'm trying to. We can just throw shit in there, but I don't want to forget certain things. The soundtrack,
killer,
phenomenal, killer,
awesome soundtrack.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Like, was it Rat? I'll have to look at the score. I want to, or the soundtrack. I mean, because it had a really great.
Yeah, Betty Davis, Eyes, Legs. ZZ Top, and
right at the beginning there, ZZ Top.
Right at the beginning, it starts off with ZZ Top. Yeah. Yeah, just a great soundtrack. You were talking about scenes. One of the best.
Here,
I love.
Sorry, MC.
There's two of them.
Real quick. I'll ZZ Top, Mary Jane Girls, Rat, Animotion, John Parr.
Animotion, yes.
John Parr was the St. Elmo's Fire.
Yes.
Theme. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, New Order, Kim Carnes. So
Kim Carnes, yeah, she did Betty Davis Eyes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So go ahead and talk about that scene.
Oh well, I want to start talking about Kevin Bacon.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you meet up with this Kevin Bacon character, and oh my God, he just looks like the sleaziest motherfucker you've ever met in your life. He's got the glasses, you know, like the aviation glasses. He's got like a really thin mustache, but not like a pencil thin mustache, but it's like really thin kind of, you know, and he just looks and sounds shady, and just somebody you absolutely just don't trust no matter what he tells you. He looks like the most untrustworthy son of a bitch you've ever seen in your life. And for the mid 80s in Hollywood, you definitely don't want to trust a guy that looks like this. Now, the second meeting between these two, between MaXXXine and Kevin Bacon's character, whose name escapes me right now, was absolutely awesome. Where he's following her in the car and he's got the camera, the video camera.
Yeah, on the lot, right?
Huh?
He was on the lot, right? Like the movie.
No. I think they were just parked. They were parked somewhere. I think it was like.
Okay. I thought it was on the film lot, but okay. Yeah.
No, not the film lot. No. This is with the video camera. He's following her in the car. I think they're at a stoplight.
Oh, you're right. I'm putting the two together. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Oh my God. Not since the ending of Death Proof can I say I've ever seen a whooping like I've ever seen.
So fucking good. What?
Oh my God, it was so great.
Ravenshaw just came back. We're talking about the fucking scene when he's filming her with the camera, Kevin Bacon, and then the attack while he's in the car.
This movie had so many good for her moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
This chick, bad fucking ass. Like, it's not fuck me, it's fuck you, dog. Like, she fucking tuned up fucking Kevin Bacon, turned him into fucking bacon bits. And that case got cascades down to the fucking alley scene. But he's basically harassing her, telling, hey, we know you know something and we want you to fess up, otherwise the guy that's hiring me is going to make things really sorry for you. And now the police, not the feds, but the police are getting involved, the investigators are getting involved because they think that there's a link between her, MaXXXine, and the Night Stalker. Right.
And the killings that are going on there. So they feel that there's a connection between those two. Let's see what else. She's boasting how she's going to be the biggest thing going and she's going to be the biggest star, and she's getting herself involved in a movie called what was it called?
The Puritan 2.
What's it called?
The Puritan 2.
Puritan, yes, the Puritan 2. And there's a certain irony played there because here she is trying, to get out of the porn industry to make herself a legitimate actress. And with her living the life that she lived prior to that when she was a little girl, which is basically a Puritan life. And here she is now trying to get a role in a horror film called The Puritan 2. So there's a little bit of irony going on there.
Which is funny because, like, how many of the great actors, actresses, whatever the fuck, directors have started out in horror? From Roger Corman, look at some early fucking Kevin Costner shit. Fucking, everyone paid their fucking dues, before they came up, and even the backstory of her friends. Oh, we're going to a party. There's a producer in the hills.
Mm-hmm.
Creating that that vibe. And that's why I take it back to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a little bit, where that was like a dark love letter to the 60s. I think on another stage, this movie is a dark love letter to 80s LA sleaze.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the peep booths and
right,
the dirty bookstores and things like that. Yeah, definitely.
And like, am I the only one that didn't know where this movie was going? Like, it definitely had a giallo feel to it, right? I mean, black gloves. Like, come on, right? Like,
Oh, absolutely. There was a total giallo feel to this for a little bit.
you know, when he's breaking the fucking wood.
Yeah,
in the
like
fucking booth.
gripping it, yeah.
And you hear the fucking of the fucking leather creaking.
Yeah, and the score too. I think the score also was really good. I loved the feel and sort of what it the vibe it gave off. It definitely had a little bit of that sort of goblin kind of feel to it at times.
Yeah.
Really liked it. I think it was Tyler Bate. I'll look just to see, but I think it was Tyler Bate. Or Tyler Bates. I think that's the name. I'm thinking of the wrestler Tyler Bate.
I love how the character of at least MaXXXine or Mia Goth can get placed in all these different scenarios or worlds. You know, you put her in the 70s porn. You can put her in fucking 18 whatever the fuck Dust Bowl shit. And then put her in sleazy 80s fucking LA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're all pretty inspired. And like, if you think about it, I mean, 70s, I mean, the influence there was like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you know, like if you look at the time and where it took place, it wasn't like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, really, you know. And I thought it was funny. There was a paper or clipping in this that said, Texas Porn Star Massacre.
Porn Star Massacre.
Yeah,
Porn Star Massacre. Yeah, totally. It fucking knew it. They knew what they were doing.
Oh, of course. I mean, of course. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, sure. And I'm not saying that as a dig. I'm just saying that.
Yeah. And so the thing about Pearl, I can't pinpoint since when that was filmed since it was taking place in 1918, I think is what you said, MC.
Yeah.
I mean, back then there weren't even any talkies yet, you know, so it was just silent film. So I don't think it's trying to be like a film of that era as far as I'm concerned, or at least taking influence from. But this one definitely takes some influence from like some of the films that we talked about. I don't think it's a specific film, but films like First Power with Lou Diamond Phillips, which if you haven't seen that, fuck, what are you waiting for? It's so good. And the connection there is the occult, you know, sort of killings, right? So we get a little bit of that with the Night Stalker in this. But yeah, it's I didn't quite know where it was going to go. And then it took me for a ride. And you guys will probably laugh at this. I like the ending, don't get me wrong. But to me, it had this like escalation that just reminded me of The Cable Guy. Like, you know, like, and I'm not saying it's the same thing, but it's like this escalation where it like, you know, it goes to different places, different locales and stuff like that. And I don't know why, like that final showdown kind of reminded me of that. Maybe it's because of the, you know, helicopter and stuff, but still like.
Oh yeah, when he was on like the
radar dish or something, or the satellite dish. Yeah,
wow.
Not that. I mean, these films aren't, you know, I'm not saying that Ty West took inspiration from that at all. It's just one of the things that occurred to me because there were some similarities there. But yeah.
It's not a like-to-like comparison, but also that show too borrowed from media of the past.
Yeah, definitely did. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I wanted to mention the director in MaXXXine, Elizabeth Debicki. She looked familiar to me, but I wasn't quite sure where I might have seen her before. It's funny. I haven't seen the show, but Tanya watches the Crown on Netflix. About the the British
Parliament,
not Parliament. Holy shit. Just the Crown.
Inbred
The Crown.
vampires.
Yeah, the Crown.
Yeah.
Like, the Queen, the King and Queen, and all that. She plays Princess Diana in that.
Oh.
So if you've seen any pictures, I think she won an Emmy she won an Emmy for her portrayal. So,
she had a great gravitas.
Yeah.
And she commanded any scene that she was in.
Totally agree. Like, she was great. Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that scene. It's funny. I watched some reviews and I saw some people like talking shit about this scene because they were saying that MaXXXine takes a backseat to her own film. But there's that scene when the director is taking her on the lot and giving her a tour. And I thought that scene was just great. Like, just her like talking to her about shit and kind of explaining how things work.
That moved me a lot.
Yeah.
As someone that has, either hired or trained, young bucks, so to speak, coming in and trying to it's like taking me back to wrestling. Who breaks you in? Someone that's giving you the weight, because she obviously has, the character has like favorites. There's the previous star of the first film.
Yep.
And who she wants to put over moving forward, but she sees something in MaXXXine and even sees enough in her where she's like, listen, I need you on fucking point here. Figure your shit out and get back or you're fucking done.
Right.
And
like if you don't, if she said, if you don't get, your shit together by the end of the weekend, like we're going to have to get someone else. And she said, I'll squash it. No worries. Like whatever,
Yeah. and you could feel the heaviness of how she means it, because how many female directors were there back in 1985, let alone filming a big budget horror film?
Right.
Very few, if maybe none at all.
Because this was going to be like a legit, like horror film that she was trying to give some artistic qualities to, and that was something that at that time horror was still, I would say in the 80s, horror was still generally looked down upon. Not in all cases. Like The Exorcist, was one of the exceptions, but for the most part, I would say in the 80s, horror was still looked down upon.
It was TNA and gore.
Well, it took such a huge leap from the 70s to the 80s, but I mean, it's a male-dominated industry, and to have a woman to work as hard as she did to get to where she is now, and she mentions this, she wasn't going to allow anybody to squash that, and so you sense that there's a real heaviness to what she was saying, and you believed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that character. She's not on screen a lot, but I really liked.
Great.
She felt very commanding and strong and almost and a bit of a, and I think that was important for MaXXXine to have that, because and she wanted her to be creative and to really flex her creative muscles. Whereas in the past, I feel like other people have kind of stifled her and tried to control her. Like she was just maternal, but in a don't fuck this up, do your shit and you'll be fine kind of way,
Right. It was maternal with not being a friend. Like I'm very close to my mother, but I don't want to be friends with her.
You just want her to get you cigarettes and your Uncrustables.
Yeah, she tells you to knock it off.
Ma, this is a business relationship, okay? Business.
It's fucked up.
Business first, parental figure second. Yeah, remember that.
Cigarettes first, Thanksgiving second. Fuck you. No, meaning, but I think like you have what MaXXXine has fucking gone through with some shit, but she also sees a grown up that she looks up to.
Yeah, and she needed that strong sort of
power.
Yeah, to look up to, definitely.
You know, and that's what I loved about the character, which is like, you can't fuck with me, dog. I'll fucking step on your nuts. Yo. But I love the dynamic, and I thought the screen time she had, that the actress was fantastic. And maybe I will watch The Crown, or she should be cast in other movies, and I'm down with where I'll fucking follow that chick wherever she fucking goes, because she was killer.
She's also been in a lot of other things too. I mean, that's just.
I'm sure.
Yeah, that's just the thing you might recognize her the most. She was in Tenet, which I still haven't seen that. That's the Chris Nolan flick, Tenet. She was actually in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, played a character named Aisha. Let's see. She was in the Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh. Is that the one with Goodman?
No,
that's 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, this is the one that was on Netflix. They had a Super Bowl commercial for.
Yeah.
She was in Valerian and The City of a Thousand Planets, which I've never seen. Let's see. She was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I just don't know the character Aisha. I'm not sure who that. I forget who that is.
I have to see a picture.
She was in Macbeth from 2015, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. from 2015. Great Gatsby 2013. So I mean, she's been in some stuff. Not a lot that we would have seen, but yeah.
But I'm more interested in seeing those because she's in it.
Yeah, no, she had a commanding presence for sure.
Powerful.
And I think she's very tall too, if I'm not mistaken. She looked it. Well, yeah. I mean, you're what?
Well, Mia
6'3"?
Goth doesn't look very tall. She looks like a real tiny thing, especially with that voice.
And Elizabeth Debicki is Australian. She's 6'3", Raven Chow, same height as you, right?
That's my
height. Are you shitting me? Is she really?
Yeah.
We could wear the same pants.
You could probably wear a lot of the same stuff.
We could wear the same underwears.
God damn, she's 6'3". Wow.
Like that. Other quick hit things, because I do want to wind this down. Unfortunately, I loved her best friend, the one who worked at the video store. Love that dude.
Oh, the dude. Yeah.
It was such like I wish we'd seen a little bit more of him, but he was. I love that character.
That shit pissed me off.
Go ahead, MZ. What were you gonna say?
There was also a gnarly death scene. I won't say of who.
Oh shit! When was it? I want to know which.
It was nighttime, and her agent was involved.
Oh yeah. Oh.
My God!
And a
how
car.
Beautiful was that?
And a car.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just making sure we're talking about the same one.
Oh my God! Because you're watching it. You're watching it and you're waiting for it to happen, and then it finally happens, and I'm like, oh damn, look at that. Oh, beautiful.
It was
that's Ty West did not stray away from the gore.
No.
The violence is there, and it was plentiful in a couple of shots, in a couple of spots, I should say. This was one of them. Another one is near towards the end, very Tarantino-esque. But this one scene in the car, oh my God, because I was just waiting, because the camera never cut away either. No, the camera never cut away, and I thought that was beautiful. I'm like, son of a bitch. This was one that was pulling absolutely no punches at all. None. It was just going all out, and plenty of cocaine to boot. My God. My God.
Yeah. I mean, it had all the hallmarks, right? Like,
oh my God.
Sex, sleaze, cocaine. Yeah. Like it had all the hallmarks of the 80s.
The apparatus, they kept the cocaine in the strip club.
Oh yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
That's so much cocaine.
It really is.
Yeah. Your eyes
so
must have been turning red just looking at it.
No, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Raven Chow was getting dry mouth just looking at it.
It made me want to poop.
He started rubbing his teeth with his index finger, just out of habit, just out of
That's That's a call back to the fucking baby laxative they cut it with. That's true. Pre-fentanyl days, but there's a lot of coke in that scene, and it looked like real coke. It really did.
It did. It did. The way it kind of clumps up.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah.
That's very special.
Very accurate. It was very coke accurate.
Oh man, I feel like we're just going to be like skipping over so much. What else, man? What else? There's a lot of good stuff in this.
How about the big reveal?
Okay.
About who it was that was about who it was that sent Sleazy Bacon out to
Sleazy Bacon.
Especially when he's got the bandage on his nose, he just looks 10 times worse.
Right.
Oh my
Such
God.
a heel. Such a fucking heel. Like,
I liked.
But how about that big reveal?
I thought it was pretty good. To me, it didn't. Nothing hinged on it, you know. So like, for me, it wasn't a make or break thing because I feel like it was really just the story of MaXXXine, and you know, like I felt like whoever that wasn't a make or break. So it was fun. I had actually I had actually forgotten the connection to that character at first. Because it's been a while since I've seen X. So I wish I had watched it more recently to help with that. But I thought it was fine.
I was fine with it too. I think it came full circle.
Yeah, definitely did. Yep.
It makes sense. You know, you're kind of disengaged from X for so long because that came out, you know, a couple years prior. And then you got one film in the middle that was completely not within the time frame that these other two films are in. So you're kind of forgetting all about it. But yeah, I think it worked fine. I don't, like you said, I agree. I don't think it hinged on this, but there was closure, and I think it worked out just fine. As far as how she dealt with it, I thought that was even better. You know, I mean, it was just insanity. It was just, and all taking place on the Hollywood sign, and you know, which I'm really kind of glad they did that. That they kind of went a little kitschy. By having the big showdown around the Hollywood sign.
It makes sense because the movie's about like ambition and like attaining fame, you know, and not giving up on your dream. So I mean, and that is like the iconic symbol of that dream, you know.
But it does come across as a little cheesy, but you're kind of glad it did, you know. I was anyway.
Yeah, no, I was too. Shit, there was literally like 3 other things that I had to bring up, and now I'm forgetting what they were. I guess one of them is Giancarlo Esposito, my man.
Yes, thank you.
My man.
My man leading into his Italian side.
Yes.
Like,
I love that scene when she called him about her problem. Like, and he's like, "No worries, I'll take care of it." You know, like it just, so good. Yeah.
And he's fantastic.
He
I
is,
love the dude. Yeah. I do think he's getting a little bit overexposed in some genre stuff.
Well, he's a DSO.
He's a fucking. I'm not sure how you mean that, but he's such a brother. But I loved him leaning into his Italian roots. Like he was straight up gangster in this.
Oh yeah,
like he was killer. He was so good, and I adore his performance in this.
Yeah, I agree. I think he was a lot of fun. Yeah. Like I wouldn't say it's the best performance in the movie. It's just a fun performance. I really liked it.
It was like, oh shit, my man's just having fun.
Yeah, because at first I thought he was just going to be sort of like a side character who just is like in like a quick cameo or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But then we got to see a little bit more later on, and I thought that was really good.
And he killed the fucking dogs. Yo. Oh my gosh.
What?
The scene with the dogs where they deal with somebody.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
That was fucking terrifying and painful.
Yeah, there
you
was.
know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Monzero looks confused.
Also, I really like the sort of occult symbols that were like carved into bodies and stuff like that. Like
the pentagrams, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously that was sort of a thing of the Night Stalker, but it was a nice touch, and I thought that it actually like made them look pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's so funny how if you're under a certain age, you might not be aware that there was a time where they were kind of like Batman villains running around.
I think there still are.
Well, no,
one of them's running for president.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bruce would fucking tune this motherfucker
Yeah,
up in
yeah.
a heartbeat. But like, from fucking, the Night Stalker, the fucking blackout motherfucker, you know what I mean? Like Gacy, like the villain shifted from serial killers to fucking shooters, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, they were like real, like the newspapers did in real life give fucking people names.
Yeah. You know what? I just want to say this quick because I actually didn't know this. I read up a little bit on the Night Stalker because, I mean, it's been a while since I knew anything, like since I've explored that at all. But Dianne Feinstein was the, I forget who she was. She's a politician. She just died like last year, I think it was. But anyway, she was like San Francisco, I don't know, governor, mayor, or like Senate. I'm not sure what she was at the time. But when it was revealed that they had information about the identity of the Night Stalker, she went public with it and made a talk to the press about it, and it completely tipped him off, and he went into hiding. I don't know if you knew that, MZ, or if you're probably more familiar with the story than I am, but I thought that was crazy because they had tracked down the shoes that he wore. They found, they took like molds or whatever of the shoes that he was wearing, and it was a very rare shoe, and only 6 of them in his size were shipped in America. So it's like, well, 5 of them went to Arizona and 1 of them went to California. So of course that's the one. So there was only 1 pair of these shoes in his size that was shipped to California. So, they had some information.
He changed his fucking gear.
Yeah. So when she announced that, he threw him over the fucking Golden Gate Bridge and got different shoes. And, so it's like, what the fuck? Like the one thing, this is like one of those pieces of evidence that is going to get him. And the police, I guess, were pissed. But I think she was trying to find him, and saying like, this is what we know. I mean,
it's so funny though, right? Like there was a fucking time where there was no international fucking database. That's how these fucking fucks could fucking go through.
Well,
and these agencies didn't fucking talk to each other.
Well, and the interesting thing about him is that they had started taking fingerprints 2 months before he was born. So he was actually in the system. So when they got his fingerprint, it was brand new technology at the time as to how they found his fingerprint in like a car that he dumped off. And it just so happened that 2 months after they started taking prints to put into a database, he was born 2 months after that. So it was just complete, like happenstance.
Because we were all fingerprinted in school. You guys remember that? Did you guys have that?
Yeah.
We were fucking fingerprinted and shit.
Yep.
Like, but there was that Zodiac fuck, there was a time when they were fucking arch criminals before they became fucking.
Now they use
Active
fucking
shooters.
pagers to blow off people's crumbs.
What the fuck, right? Like,
I was like thinking, are they trying to target Raven Shadow?
don't page me, bro.
I can't
What
believe
the
that.
fuck?
So okay, we gotta wrap up.
All right.
If you guys think of anything else, go ahead and say it in the verdict. But I want to know what your verdict is of this movie, and then also tell me what your favorite of the trilogy is. Apparently, Ty West has said that he has an idea for a fourth. He just wanted to see how this one does first. So we might actually get another one. I thought it was just a trilogy the whole time, but he said that he has an idea and he has it. It's just a matter of do people want it? Like, did this do well enough? And it's weird. I've seen at least in some of the circles we run in, podcast circles, I've seen people just be like, "Yeah, no, I haven't seen it yet. I'll just watch on streaming. Like, I don't really care about it." I was like, "What? Really?" Like, I thought like X and Pearl were like kind of darlings of the horror community. So I don't.
Yeah.
And this with like the 80s aesthetic, I was really surprised to hear a lot of our friends and other people like just hadn't tracked this down or just didn't have much interest.
See, this was the one that I was most like, fucking yeah.
Yeah, same.
Like, I was so excited for. Like,
Yeah.
like.
All right, well let's do the verdict. If you guys think of anything else, just toss it in during the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby. I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether MaXXXine was a trick or a treat, and any final thoughts. MZ.
Well, first of all, let me just say that I always thought of the alginate that was over her face and she freaked out. I thought that was like a callback to her doing bukkake scenes.
Holy shit!
I just wanted to get that in there.
You didn't have to.
Wow.
That's cool though.
Yeah, you should have left that one out. Jesus Christ.
That's
all right.
Pretty cool though.
The horror world is in need of a horror
Renaissance
heroine of sorts, and I think Mia Goth has finally become the horror darling that we've been waiting for, because she has proven that she has not only the chops to get to do the job, but she also has no inhibitions of doing what needs to be done in order for that project to get done. I mean, for Christ's sake, she was in the film Nymphomaniac when she was like 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think we finally, I mean, we have our Scream Queens, but Scream Queens don't have any place at all in this discussion. These are horror actresses. You got your Barbara Steeles, your Hazel Courts, and now we got to have Mia Goth. And I think Mia Goth is superb in this movie, and superb throughout the entire trilogy.
Yes.
This might be the best horror trilogy in who knows how long. Decades. I mean, because really, honestly, I mean, what was the last horror trilogy? Just trilogy.
Right.
Nothing
Hard to
else.
even. Yeah.
No fourth film, just a trilogy. The only one I can think of right now is Basket Case.
I guess Terrifier will become a trilogy when that comes out.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a fourth film after that. I can almost guarantee you that.
Yeah, I can guarantee it as well.
There's a great, and there's references everywhere from Texas Chainsaw Massacre to The Devil a Daughter, a film that came out in 1976.
Oh, MZ Behind the Green Door. You saw that, right?
Yes, and Behind the Green Door as well. And there was another horror movie that they showed. I can't remember the name of it, but its alternate title is Monster. I'm going to get slaughtered if I don't remember the name of it actually, but the look of this film is fantastic. The performances are stellar. The gore is good. Kevin Bacon is a sleaze bag motherfucker that you just love to hate. There's some really shocking scenes here. There's lots of cocaine.
Humanoids from the Deep?
Humanoids from the Deep.
Okay.
That's it. Yes, thank you. I can't believe I forgot that. Surprisingly, there's no nudity from Mia Goth in this, and I expected that. Now, I'm not saying I'm disappointed. I'm just saying that I'm surprised because she does have nude scenes in X.
And also, didn't she in
Pearl?
No, fuck. Corny mentioned it. Hold on. Infinity Pool. He says because he said Mia Goth spoke with a British accent in Infinity Pool.
Oh, she did. She gave that great fucking reach around hand job.
All right, go ahead, MZ.
So with all that, I just love the story, the total arc of MaXXXine, the character herself. I think the movie closes out perfectly. It's well casted, it's well acted, it looks great. The score and the soundtrack are phenomenal. And this is just another winner from Ty West and Mia Goth.
Yep.
And this is a big treat for me.
All right, Raven Shadow, let's hear it.
So I gotta say I'm probably 60-40 K-Bye on Ty West. Even if it's not always my jam, I do respect the dude, and I've only out of this trilogy, I've only seen the films once as we've discussed them. I think as of this recording, Pearl and MaXXXine are probably my favorites. Whereas the one I've looked most forward to was MaXXXine with 3X. To MZ's point, I think there was one shot of the character MaXXXine from on video that may have had nudity, but you didn't need it because you got it. And as much as I love the female form and all of its varieties, you didn't need it in this film. I don't think you did. I was super locked in from the jump. I gotta say, the ending, I wasn't sure how to think about it. It wasn't what I expected, and I can't speak a lot because I don't want to spoil it for folks. But overall, I really did enjoy this. I think Mia Goth is a fucking titan. And what gave it away is her record. But where she goes in the next 5-10 years, I think is going to be killer. And you got to stop. Oh, it's a horror movie. It's this movie. She's an actress. And I think she can kill it. I do think that she would be a super dope rogue in a Marvel picture with the right cast and director.
I don't want to see her
for
in a Marvel picture. Come on.
No, I'm saying though, I think I could see her be in that role, but she can do whatever she wants, man. Like she could probably do anything. And I would be along for the ride. So despite my feelings on the ending, and I would love to talk to you boys, offline about it. Overall, I will say this is definitely a treat. And, I kind of hope it ends with this just because I think it was masterful. But there's another story with MaXXXine in this. There's one more for old time's sake, and maybe two. But definitely a treat. Definitely a treat. Check it out.
All right. And for me, this is a big treat. Is this going to be like one of those movies that you just like Parasite. It's the first one that comes to mind. Like it's just a fucking incredible film, right? Like
Oh
a
my
movie
God,
like
Paris
that
is
is
a fucking masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. You look at it and you're like, this is a fucking masterpiece. This movie is so well made, and it's so well structured and everything like that. This is not that type. Or Poor Things. That fucking movie. Holy shit.
Oh, fuck.
That movie is fucking incredible. And every aspect of it, like it is, the artistry, the direction, the music, like everything. I don't want to talk too much about that. So when I say that this is one of my favorite films of the year, I think I'm not putting it in that same sort of category. It's just nostalgia. It's like that cool factor. And it just reminded me of a lot of those movies in the 80s. And it also kept me guessing because I didn't know where this was heading.
Yeah.
And I thought that was super rad. And, I love Ty West. I will say, even when he is missed, I'm right there for his next one. I'll be like, you know what? I don't fucking care. I'll be there. This dude made House of the Devil. And that is a fucking like indie, low budget masterpiece. No two ways about it. So for me, I will go, I will give him a lot of rope. A lot of leeway, so to speak. So, when he sort of started to lose me a little bit, and then when X came out, I was like, oh, okay, all right. And then Pearl, I was like, okay. And then this, and I was like, he's fucking back, man. Ty West is back. And if he can do the things that he wants to do, like if he can write, he can direct, and he can make the stuff that he wants to make, and he's shown with this trilogy that he can absolutely do that. I feel like the sky's the limit for this dude, and I think he could make some truly incredible flicks still. And I really dug this. Mia Goth is tour de force. She's a tour de force in this, and she's really good and just fun to watch on screen. And there's so many characters that just own the roles. Like, are they incredible performances, award-winning? No, but they own the roles. Like Giancarlo Esposito fucking owns that fucking role. The director, the woman who played the director, Elizabeth Debicki, and Kevin Bacon, like he is fucking 100% on this. And he goes so hard and he's having so much fun with this. That alone was like, holy fuck, man. Like if you can't appreciate just that aspect of it, I don't know what you're looking for.
And dude, for real, brother, like he's bringing Bacon back, like fucking.
Yeah.
That's my dog, dude. like.
Yeah.
Bacon. It's why he's a fucking hashtag ledge right there, dude. Like.
All right, so MZ's back now. That's it. It's a big treat for me. This is definitely up there for top 13. We'll see where it comes in, but really fucking dug this. So, all right, next week. This is a tough one. We're playing a little bit of catch up because we had the Patreon shows. We have another Patreon show coming up, not next week, but the week after, kick off October. So I'm looking forward to that. And so I was a little uncertain about which one we're going to do, but I've heard a lot of good things about this flick. It just hit VOD, and it's been getting some pretty decent buzz. Let me just pull up the details here. So we're gonna talk about the film Cuckoo. And
what?
Cuckoo. And it stars my man Dan Stevens. He was the guest in that movie, The Guest, and he was also in that Abigail movie. He was the
King Diamond biopic.
No, you remember the vampire girl, little vampire girl?
Oh, I liked her.
And he was the guy with the glasses. Like he was like the sort of like head honcho of that crew.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Dan Stevens. So he's in this. Hunter Schafer, Jessica Henwick, who She was in the new Matrix movie. She was like the new sort of like kind of character in that. With like, I think she had like purple or blue hair, like short, kind of like coiffed hair. But anyways, so heard some good things about this. So we're going to talk about the film Cuckoo. It is written and directed by Tillman Singer. I don't know if we've done... Okay, Tillman Singer did a movie called Lose from 2018, which got a lot of festival love. We actually almost did it, and we didn't for whatever reason. But that one got a lot of positive press. So yeah, we're gonna do Cuckoo. It's CUCKOO. 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 Yeah, so we're gonna do that. And it just hit VOD, so you can check that out. And yeah, we'll talk about Cuckoo next week. So looking forward to that. I won't read the synopsis. It's a short one, probably doesn't really even tell you very much, but you know, we'll go in cold on this one. So next week we'll do Cuckoo. All right, MZ, we do have 2 voice messages. What do you want to do?
I think I'm gonna blow out of here.
You're gonna blow? He's
gonna blow.
He's going from suck to blow.
Yeah. Suck.
Suck. All right, MZ, then go ahead and say your goodbye.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
All right, MZ. Sorry we ran late, but you know, we had Anthony on. It was fun talking about Silver Scream. So
we gotta blame him. That's okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
All right, MZ. We'll we'll see you next week,
buddy.
man.
Right. Later, guys.
Right. See you, bud.
Bye.
All right. Let's see. I guess I don't have. I thought I had the passing out GIF, but I don't have it on this setup. So, so good. All right. So Raven Chow, we got 2 voice messages. You ready to hear these?
Warm, ready, and rock steady, baby. You know this.
All right, Chow Daddy. Let's let's hear from Markham Josh first. Our boy, we hung out with him last week. That was last week. Yeah, we did the Vortalac with Josh. So let's check in with Josh and see what is on his mind this week.
Such a brother.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, it's Arkham Josh here. Just calling in with my thoughts on this week's film. First off, thanks for having me on last week. It's always a blast. Secondly, sorry for any background noise. I'm actually in the booth right now.
Here on the projector.
Run a preview screening of the new A24 film, A Different Man, starring Sebastian Stan. Looks like it might be interesting.
Nice.
So, but as far as this week's film, MaXXXine. I know there's been a lot of hype, a lot of build-up, and this has been a very kind of divisive film, very hit or miss between people. But I went and saw it in the theater, and I had a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it.
Yes, good.
I wasn't letting it get built up as, you know, in my head. I enjoyed the first 2, and I was just going into it looking for another enjoyable, fun film. And I love the 80s setting, had a great 80s vibe, the look of it was great, had some good soundtrack stuff, the characters were good, there were some interesting new characters. There was some good kind of tense moments. I wouldn't really say scary, but there was some tense stuff. There were some good kills, some decent gore. Overall, it was it was an enjoyable film. It, had some good tension, some creepiness. It's not like a lot of people are saying slasher. A lot of people are saying giallo, influences, and I see little influences here and there. I'm just gonna say it's like a quirky 80s thriller, a little bit of De Palma, stuff like that. Yeah. But overall, I quite enjoyed it. It met my expectations. I will revisit it at some point. So I'm going to say it is a treat and a recommend. So I look forward to hearing what you guys thought of it. And hopefully I'll talk to you guys soon. You guys have a good week. Bye.
Such a
all right, Josh. Glad to hear that you dug it. I kind of figured you would. Seemed like it was right down your alley. And it's awesome hearing the projector in the background, I got to admit.
Great.
Big, part of me kind of misses those days. I don't miss the money, but or lack thereof. But, cool. Always good to hear from you, Josh. And back at you, man. It was great having you on last week, and always love having you on. And we will do that again soon. Speaking of, sorry, brother rating.
Oh, out of 10. Come on, what gave it away? His record?
Yeah. All right. Next voice message. This is from the other Josh, another brother.
Oh, shit.
Our boy, Joshua Libre.
Yo, what up, Trick or Treat Radio? I just wanted to leave a comment on the Patreon episode you guys just did. I'm not going to spoil anything, so, anybody out there, sign up for the Patreon, listen to the episode. It's a great episode. You guys came up with some great ideas of comedies, turning them into horror movies. Raven Shadow, I can definitely see yours as a Paramount
nice
July 2025 release for sure.
Nice.
Perfect for the drive-in.
Yeah. Boy.
Wolfie, I love your idea because it's like perfect for like a Blumhouse, movie. Blumhouse, they've done Happy Death Day, and I think they also did Freaky with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
Your idea, I think it's perfect for like a Blumhouse production, theatrical, no streaming. And MZ's idea, man,
right?
that is some dark, twisted,
fucked up
horror shit, man. I loved it. It's like, like Wolfie, you said, you don't expect anything less, but yeah, to me, like MZ's idea would be like one of those movies that's like gonna screen at like a very prestigious festival. I don't know, Cannes or something like that, or the Venice International Film Festival. And midway through the screening, all hell breaks loose. It's just so dark, twisted, horrific, controversial that it just gets shut down. People can't handle it. And it's so hard and controversial that there's like no distributor wants to touch it, because it's so like super dark. But the good thing is that it could become like an underground sensation, where you can only find it in the dark corners of wherever you can get your movies.
Yeah.
Not on digital. You can only get it on like blank bootleg type VHS tapes,
TDK, baby.
With like no label. It's just a blank VHS, no label, and the movie is just recorded onto it, and that's the only way you can get it because it's just hard as fuck, so I like that idea. I definitely would go with all three for sure. And the only idea I would pitch would be of a comedy to turn into a horror movie would be Mrs. Doubtfire. I would definitely make that into a horror movie.
That's good.
And the idea is that Mrs. Doubtfire kills anybody that comes into the family, tries to mess with the family unit, so any wannabe stepdad that comes into the picture, he just offs them, Mrs. Doubtfire, he or she can use any type of like home cooking utensils. He could use the broom as Cannibal Holocaust style, up the ass and out the mouth, but yeah, he would go after any like wannabe stepdad, any like douchebag boyfriend that wants to like mess with his daughter, or any girl that wants to mess with his son. He would definitely go after them. And you can even put, in Mrs. Doubtfire, you got Harvey Fierstein is the brother of the Robin Williams character, and he can get into it as well. He can be kind of like the help Mrs. Doubtfire with different costumes and hairstyles and makeup, so that you can never trace who's doing all these murders, because witnesses see different different people with different hairstyles or whatever, you know. But yeah, I would definitely make Mrs. Doubtfire the horror movie.
That would be outstanding.
But yeah, anyways, again, great topic. I loved it. Great Patreon episode.
Thanks,
Highly
buddy.
recommend anybody sign up, listen to it.
What a brother.
And thank you guys for the time. Have a great show. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Love that dude, man.
Oh my gosh, who's better than fucking Joshua Libre, right? Like, when I was in Moynihan,
better than Canyon?
I was just thinking about Joshua Libre when I was just drinking by myself at Moynihan's. Such a brother. I love the way he breaks down the fucking Patreon episodes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's fun.
such a fucking dude, man.
Yeah,
Killing
I
it.
think that's a great one. Mrs. Doubtfire is really fucking. That would be interesting.
They get weird, Mrs. fucking
Yeah,
Badfire.
because you can make it kind of twisted, right? Like,
Yeah, right. Like, and it's funny. Like, it sucks that I fit into all those demographics of the people that will get killed.
yeah.
But yeah, no, Joshua Libre, fucker, I love that kid so much.
Tell and invite him over. Go on, Josh.
Dude, just come
come
over,
over.
bro.
Yeah.
My mom will drive. Your mom can pick us up.
Got to drive from fucking California.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
my mom will, because she loves me.
Yeah. She'll probably. Does she go buy you cigarettes in New Hampshire so she doesn't have to pay tax?
Nah, she goes to BJ's. It's a big box store for those who don't know. It's like Costco.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
New England.
It's right next to Dick's. It actually usually is, which is funny.
Yeah, it is. We didn't name them though. Keep in mind. Like, yeah, do we have retail stores named Dick's and BJ's? Yeah, we do. Come check out Silver Scream in 2025. See what happens.
All right. Well, we made it. We made it through. This is a long one. Wow.
Thank you.
Almost 3.5 hours, I think. So did you think of anything else, Raven Shadow, about Silver Scream that you didn't talk about?
It's legit though, man. Like, legit, it was special. We're gonna talk offline, but
Okay.
it was really sweet. And truly, I just, one more time, for old time's sake, I just can't express the love that was shown to me by multiple people, especially Anthony and D. Rook. There's people I could name. I don't want to not miss anybody, but there was a lot of love. And I want to give real quick, all the update. Took him to the vet this past Monday. He has no infection and nothing neurological. So that's all very positive. And if I can just shoot, Wolfie, you know my shoot job, and I may have talked to you about my shoot manager. And I found out recently from a text last night that my greatest professional mentor, best boss I've ever had, she became my peer and a very dear friend. The GOAT, Lisa Navarro, passed away this past Monday. I'm still working on details, but rest in power. And
oh man, I'm sorry.
yeah, I professionally, I would not have had the career I've had if it wasn't for this person. So rest in power. So I guess with that said, I know we got to go. Live fast, love hard, die with your mask on. And I'll see you on the other side, boss.
Well, obviously, like, we can end on down notes. That's not a problem. But sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I'm still working on the details.
Yeah.
But it just was. She was the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Legit.
And for those who don't know, greatest of all time is what that
greatest
means.
of all time. Yeah.
Some,
I would follow her into hell.
Some people might think you're actually, calling her a goat, which you're not.
No, and I don't want to disparage any goats out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, she was killer, and I told a story earlier on about a cookout I went to, and I'm so glad that was the night. So, all right, we got to go. So here's the positive, Wolfie. I had seen her for a wake that we had gone to for somebody else we knew, and then I told a story about going to a cookout with kind of a wild cookout earlier in the summer, and I'm just so glad I did that thing. Because it could have been one of those things where like, oh, life gets in the way. I don't want to go out. I'm like, I'm going to stay for an hour and a half. And then I stayed for like 3 hours and Marion picked me up. And I'm just so glad I had that moment to be with her and her family and do shots and just be special.
Yeah.
And, so.
Go ahead, sorry.
Enjoy Do the appointments, make the plans, hug your friends, and love them because too fucking short, dude. Love your people.
Yeah, and
take pictures.
take pictures. Yeah. I was gonna say it's. I'm trying to just be quick about it, so I'm just trying to think of what to say.
Sure.
As we get older, I feel like we do more fucking coffin corners all the time. Right. People who we grew up watching, like artists, musicians, actors, actresses, whatever, directors.
Sure. Creators.
Yeah, creators. I feel like, like obviously the older we get, the more there are because those are the ones we grew up with and that we identified with. And, I think one thing I'd say for myself and probably a lot of other people, maybe you, I don't want to speak for you, but I think when we're younger, we don't really understand grief or how to deal with it. And it is a normal part of life. It sucks. It is not easy. Well, and I haven't even had nearly the amount that a lot of people we know have had.
Yes, true.
But and I don't look forward to those days. But I think it is important to at least think about your relationship with grief and how you plan to embrace it, express it, however, whatever you want to say, because the older we get, the more people we're gonna lose, and it's gonna get to the point where some of the older people like that we would call contemporaries or friends, we might lose some of them eventually, and at that point it's just gonna suck, So it's just one of those things. Mortality, you have to come to terms with it and accept it and find a healthy way to deal with it, and. So I feel like this is a Fury Raven channel. I think it's a growth moment, and I think that's important. So I appreciate you bringing that up. Like there may be 2 people listening to the at the 3 hour and 40-minute mark or wherever we're at now. So maybe not many people hear this, but for those that are listening, if you need to hear it, it's something to think about. I don't even have to say it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But there will be one in the next few years that I cannot fucking handle. Like I will not be able to handle. And I don't want to even say it. But I think you know what I mean, right?
Right. I got what you're putting down, brother. I smell your toast, and it's be a fucking bad day. And like, just so you know, I'll say I'm okay, but I'm fucking not.
Yeah.
Like I'm fucking lying.
Right. So
when that happens,
it's something I think about, and I think about it, and I try to block it out because I just don't want that day to come when we lose someone close to us that we see every day, that we live with, and so it's something I need to be prepared for. So,
and I think everything you said is amazing, Wolfie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love you so much, and I think you might know this saying. I would just say that it's easier to say than done, but take it with you. May your memories be blessing. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. Or may your
I get the sentiment though. Like,
Yeah, remember the good times.
Yep, absolutely. And that's the thing that's difficult to embrace, I think. So, all right. Well, that's enough. We don't need to get any more sad. So, well, that is going to do it. So, did you say your thing, Rachel? I don't know. I forgot.
I did.
We kind of went off.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'll wrap up here. So, all right, next week, let's see. We don't have any guests planned. The week after, we do have a Patreon takeover. Looking forward to that. And next week, we'll be talking about the film Cuckoo. Looking forward to this one. So check it out. If you guys want to send in your thoughts, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. Always love hearing voice messages. And that's going to do it. So everyone, be safe out there, and I don't know, like, think about your loved ones or those that you've lost.
Love the ones you're with.
Yeah, get spayed or neutered. No, don't do that. All right, have a good Freaky Friday freak off. All right, see ya. Bye.